a man middle-aged and mean, chasing a dream that's never been. Filed another case, he's losing ground. Can't stop wheels from spinning round. He's got minions on his side, no prayer. Still fighting on, it's just a nightmare. Pull 'em up, you're making it worse. Endless motions, pocket full of curse. YouTube hits, but your soul's in chains. Protracting pain, multiplying shame. Pull 'em up, can't you see? You're drowning in your own hypocrisy. Every case is a money grab. Put it on the tube, that's the only tab. Litigation game, no need to win. Just drag it out and reel 'em in. Twist the law, break the rules. He's playing games, but he's just a fool. Pull 'em up, you're making it worse. Endless motions, pocket full of curse. YouTube hits, but your soul's in chains. Protracting pain, multiplying shame. Pull 'em up, can't you see? You're drowning in your own hypocrisy. Every motion's just for show. Filing papers, moving slow. Courtroom's a circus, all a game. But in the end, who is to blame? Sick of the noise, sick of the lies. The case is dead, he'll never realize. Pull 'em up, you're making it worse. Endless motions, pocket full of curse. YouTube hits, but your soul's in chains. Protracting pain, multiplying shame. Pull 'em up, can't you see? You're drowning in your own hypocrisy. On the case another day. Will the judge care the sky's gone gray? Pull 'em up, it's all a trap. You're digging your hole, fall in that gap. Pull 'em up, the time's all spent. Lost in the game, no way to repent. Mommy didn't love you enough, germ. Too bad, not sad. Pull 'em up.
Oh my God. I love hypocrisy. I love
Right, right.
that. Yes, yes. I love that.
Hello, everyone. Hello. And tonight we're on Mischief Mondays with Legally Leslie. How
Hello.
are you, Leslie?
Oh, I'm kind of here, just here right now. Like, it's hard even to say how I am.
Wow is what I'm going to say. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hello, everybody. Wow, look at everybody. Hi. I usually call everybody out name by name. But wow, everybody's here. Hello. Leslie.
Yes.
Must tell you, I woke up this morning and I was, because we were live last night, right?
Yeah.
What time? I don't even know what time we got. Oh, I don't know what time you signed up.
I was having repeat, just trauma in my head over the lies that I was hearing about myself. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, it gets worse. It definitely gets worse. So I signed off last night, did my whatever I had to do, went to sleep. I wake up and I'm like, what? Hold on. I check my email. I go, did I see that right? I'm like, no. And my mouth was literally on the floor. I was like, holy shit. Like I actually was just like silent for like 5 minutes. Like I didn't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I'm like, wow, go girl, go. Well, I was like, you ain't playing.
No, I'm not playing. And
you're not playing.
I've seen this thing play out. I saw, just how crazy it got with all of you guys. I mean, where really, like, because I came into this obviously way late in the game, not really knowing anything, but I saw just in
and trying to be unbiased, just looking
I
at
was
it from a
trying
legal
to be.
perspective.
Like I said, when I first came into the case, because I had been a victim of defamation back in 2023, of course, my bias was actually on Hale's side. I was actually needing someone to really show me how this wasn't defamation. That's how I came into this. So, but the problem, and if you look at the first interview that I did with Michael Volpe, because I didn't know who Hales was. I mean, I'll kind of recap. What happened, I was on Facebook one day and I saw just a horrible post go through about Volpe, and he'd always been good to me, and he'd always reported really well, in cases that I had in the past down in Miami and whatnot. So I informed him that I saw this horrible post and I just wanted to let him know. And then, he responded, "Do you mind doing an interview for me?" And at that time, I mean, you got to understand, I wasn't trying to build a YouTube channel. I didn't have a YouTube channel. My YouTube was really just there so that I could publish videos and share links with my friends. That was it, and then I had a TikTok, and I do like little TikTok things on divorce and little things like that, but nothing.
Thank you, Big C.
But
when I see the super chats come up, I always shout them out. So,
no worries. But so when he asked me to do this interview, I was kind of taken back because I'm like, well, I don't have a following. Why does he want me to interview him, right? But he wanted me to, I guess, maybe because he knew that I was a retired lawyer and I might be able to look at the case from that standpoint a little more, right? So I was very neutral in the first video, very neutral. And I just asked him questions and he spoke. Well, then following that video, all of a sudden I'm getting attacked. I'm getting in a Facebook group called What the Hales. I'm basically somebody's making fun of me saying, "Am I knocked up from Volpe?" I mean, just really just outrage. And I'm a married woman with children. You know what I mean? It's like just very outrageous comments that I was taken back. And at that point I realized, oh, wow, this is no joke. Like, these people are like ruthless, And then when I went through, I saw all this hate comments and making fun of. And at this point, I didn't know who Rich was. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know who anybody was. But what I didn't like was seeing people being made fun of. And listen, nobody is going to convince me on any realm. I don't care what someone has done to you, because let me tell you, I've had horrendous things done to me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to turn around and just crucify this person publicly and shame them. Okay. That's not the right, that to me, that's not how somebody with character acts. Okay. Period. Exactly. So I was like, there's really no justification to this, in my opinion. I don't care. And then people say, well, you don't know the whole story. You don't know the past. Well, honestly, I don't really care about what the story was at this point. All I am seeing right now is a bunch of people being ridiculed, shamed publicly, and I don't care what they did in the past. Nobody deserves that. Nobody.
No, not at all.
And
that's one of the main reasons why, like, I mean, I've seen that quite a bit, with Hales. And I was like, oh my gosh, and then he did it to Robbie, and I was like, oh, and this was like 2 years ago, 2, maybe probably 3 now. And then, so, just went around doing my thing, whatever it is. And all of a sudden last August, or I think July, actually, something went down between him and Guapo. And come August, like the first week in August, they were both at a storage auction in Ohio. And the second Guapo arrived, Jeremy was like chasing him around the parking lot. I mean, and it was all on camera because Guapo was filming. Yeah. And from the moment he got out of his car, I mean, he barely got out of his car. Jeremy's chasing him around the parking lot in the unit, and there's other people there, and he's walking around, and he's just like right in his face saying a whole bunch of shit, accusing him of stuff. Crazy stuff, and then like just making all these stupid comments and referring to his man size and like all this stuff, and then finally he actually chest bumped him and assaulted him.
I think I saw that video because I think Volpe did show me that, and I was like, wait, what? Because at this time I knew nothing about Jeremy, and Volpe had told me something along the lines that he went to seminary school and he had been a preacher, and I'm going, wait a second here, that is not. No, I couldn't believe it. I said, this is not a preacher. No way. A preacher doesn't act like this. Come on.
Yeah. So when that happened, I called Robbie and I was just like, look, I'm like, he just freaking attacked Guapo. I'm like, I am so tired of this guy pretending to be a victim all the time when he's the aggressor. He's the bully. I mean, he's gone after people in Otter Creek, his neighbors. And I'm not sure if it was an ex-mayor at the time or I'm not sure. But just because the guy was parked on his lawn, you have to remember there was a property that was there and nobody owned it, or if whoever had it before, whether it was in operation or not, he was parked there. It was okay to park there. He didn't know that somebody just bought it, and Jeremy bought it and it was like getting ready to, have the car towed and whatnot. And it was just like such an innocent thing. And Jeremy turned it into like this freaking war, got in the guy's face and being a bully and everything.
I saw where he went. I saw a video where he had gone to, I think like that, I don't even know, but somebody in the community, and he was arguing over some sort of bill because he was charged like it was maybe a water
bill. The water bill. Yeah. The whole.
Yeah. Like it was like $50 more. I mean, this is ludicrous. I'm sorry, but you pick and choose your battles. But to me, you got to look deeper than that. And you got to say to yourself, well, what is really driving him doing this? And I think
YouTube content.
Yeah, it's control, and it's need to be validated and need to be, like he wants to be publicly validated on everything that he does. Like he's some special person, superhuman, not even at anybody else's level. And it's okay for him to go bully, on the most minute, ridiculous things. It's just, it shows who he really is. And getting, so, I was going into this wanting to investigate all the facts and doing all these other, things, just, as trying to be a neutral party. But his character was so flamboyantly off that it didn't even matter if somebody had started something with him at that point, because I'm looking at this guy going, this guy, there's a problem here. I don't care. At this point, I don't care what initiated it. I don't care if someone, did something they weren't supposed to do to him. And, he has all the reasons. His character is flawed, in my opinion. His character is flawed. And that's a problem. And, when you live your life like that, it might come back to you. I don't know,
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I was just so tired. I'm like, dude, I said to Robbie, I'm like, I can't just let this go, man, So he goes, go ahead, go for it. Because he was the one who told me, no, don't say nothing, leave it alone. I'll handle it, because it involved him, So I was like, okay. So like a little bit here and there. I have a character called Crayola. He's a rainbow lemur. And so, he came off the boat from Madagascar and Jim Jones was on it. And he ended up at Robbie's because he jumped off. He's like not drinking the Kool-Aid, that little joke thing there. So that's the only time like it was ever mentioned. It's just a running joke. But at this point, when that happened with Guapo, I was like, oh, hell no. Mm-mm. This is a friend of his. You know what I mean? That everybody has witnessed them doing things together, hanging out, storage units, all kinds of stuff. I don't know if he got jelly of Robbie because Robbie was going to get the hoarder house, because the hoarder house is a really big deal. It was a good deal for Guapo. And he could have sold it as is. He could have sold all the things. What he ended up doing with it, as a whole, I couldn't even speak for it. Like, go check out Guapo's channel, But in the end, like, it was going to sell the whole house and with everything included. And Robbie had friends that were going to purchase it. But Jeremy wanted it. Jeremy was probably originally pissed off at the fact that Guapo got it. He was jealous, of Guapo getting that house, finding the house and getting it. So, and it showed, And so he tried to put a wedge there, and he did. And because of his friendship that he had with Guapo and everything, it all went basically against Robbie, And he talked about Robbie. He threw insults at Robbie. He's defamed Robbie. And Robbie answered it one time, and that was it. But when this went down, I said, nuh-uh, and I started to just explain like my feelings about it and giving my opinions. And then, I had not watched his channel for, maybe it would pop up here and there in my feed, but I had not known what was really going on. And I found that he was in court with someone else. And I was like, what the hell? Who's he suing now? And what I saw was actually the video of the temporary order that was either being sought out. I'm not sure at what point of the case I actually saw that video at this point. But it was being sought out by Michelle against him and why. And he was harassing her and stalking her and causing all these problems. And so I'm like, what is going on? So I would ask people to help me fill in the puzzle pieces, send me information, I want to know. And I was upfront with everybody. I said, look, I don't like this guy, but what's happening here? And I'm going to be unbiased. Just send me information. Tell me where's this started from? What's going on? And I went back and I watched some stuff. Leslie, nobody sent me anything that was in Jeremy's favor.
Well, that's the thing. I have asked the same thing. Somebody had sent me an email the other day claiming that, this injunction was, done, against him in, Florida, and he never got his fair shake, I guess, in court. Well,
right.
If you guys know injunctions, if you plead the facts, appropriately, the judge awards an injunction immediately. You don't need a hearing at the onset of an injunction. You get one for 15 days, and then the court sets a hearing where the other party must show up and the other party must prove their case. So,
right.
They were making it like, I can't believe the court gave him a 15-day injunction. He didn't even get his fair, day in court. That's not how injunctions work. Right. He's not going to. That's the only thing that the court looks at that point is whether or not it was a petition was properly pled that would warrant an injunction. And if he wants his fair day, he gets it 15 days later. I mean, right. So it's like everybody is not understand. It's like nobody really understands, and I fault the United States too for not educating Americans in the law. Like I said, only 0.4% of our entire country have the knowledge that I do with the law. And that's unfortunate. But that also drives a lot of misconceptions, where people just don't, they make these opinions, but they don't know how the law works.
Right.
So how would that be Michelle's fault? She acted, she filed a petition, she pled what happened to her, and the court found that to be grounds to have an injunction. I mean, you know what I mean? So that's not her fault. Obviously he was, and I'll tell you right now with what's going on right now, I'm considering, possible injunction on some people if it doesn't stop, because you ask these people nicely to leave you alone, stop it, and it just doesn't happen. It's like they keep attacking you, and they attack you with false statements that are, my husband and I have a law firm. That's where we make our money, from our law firm. And if I was going to, retire my license and have to endorse scrutiny that I'm a disbarred attorney, my God. I mean, I'm not. I didn't evade disbarment. Ask anybody who wants to say that I evaded disbarment. Ask them, well, what did I do? Tell me one action I did that warrants disbarment. Okay. Because you have to do something very severe to get disbarred. But they want to keep saying I retired to evade disbarment, but nobody can tell me what exactly I did. Okay, what action I took that would warrant disbarment to even show that I retired to evade. That's a whole nother story. But like I said, I have an affidavit from my state bar.
I just pulled it up.
Yeah, I mean, it says if I was disbarred and I retired to evade disbarment, why does it say unless permitted? They're giving me an option. Unless permitted by the Florida Bar Examiner's Office, that I can't practice and I'm not eligible for reinstatement unless. Okay, that is an option to say if I wanted to try, I could. If I was disbarred, that would not be there. If I entered into a retirement to evade disbarment, that would not be there. So it's like, but they want to keep going on. And that is what my lawsuit is about. They're trying to, and I mean, I can't even tell you, like on my own YouTube channel, now that I have one, and I wasn't even looking for it, now obviously people want to know things. I still have people going, oh, you just, retired to evade disbarment. And it's like, my God, if that, I might as well have been disbarred, because if I'm going to live under that scrutiny, but that's why we have this lawsuit, because we're not tolerating it, not tolerating lies, not going to do it. I'm going to nip it in the butt right now, period.
So last night, and we were kind of forewarned. Well, not forewarned. Maybe you were forewarned. Jeremy does his lives on Sunday night. It was like, well, you're kind of, people are starting to say some things. Let's see if he even knows about it. Because he mentions things all the time. And he started off by with his live. He mentioned doing a hoedown, right? So obviously he noticed that there's a hoedown hillbillies out there. And I said, all right, well that must mean he might know about Leslie now, because that's what he does. He goes out and attacks, right? Yeah. And then all of his minions go out and do it. So he starts talking about things, and he starts mocking disbarred lawyers and felons and this and that. So I'm thinking, okay, disbarred lawyers. Who does he mean by that? Okay.
Yeah.
And then when he went felons, and then he turned around and said that lawyers, or some about lawyers retiring to not get disbarred. My
Yes.
God, there's Leslie. That
Yep.
was Leslie.
Exactly.
So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, okay. So next thing I know, by the time, now that was it during his live. So that's like what, from 8 to 9 or something. So I go live at 10. By the time I went live, you had already put out a cease and desist.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull that. Can I pull that up?
Yeah.
Should I pull
Go
that up?
ahead. Sure.
All right. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me
Because
get it.
I'd gotten tipped off that he was making innuendos about me. To you
Right.
know, and here's the thing with defamation, it can be indirect implication, meaning even if he doesn't say legally Leslie, if he's
Right.
if you put everything together and you know that I'm the only person that has come into the mix that has said I was
Right.
retired, it can be indirect, and that's still defamation.
Right. So this here is addressed to Jeremy J. Hip also. And it's a cease and desist defamatory statements regarding legally Leslie. And you want me to read it? I'll just
Go ahead.
All
Yeah.
right. Dear Mr. Hales and those supporting, this letter serves as a formal demand that you immediately cease and desist from making and disseminating false and defamatory statements regarding legally Leslie, specifically your claim that she retired her law license to evade being disbarred. Your assertion is unequivocally false. The Florida Bar's own affidavit attached here too, which we just showed, affirms under oath that Leslie voluntarily elected to retire her license. At no point was there pending disciplinary action which would have precluded her from retiring in good standing. If the Florida Bar had any evidence warranting disbarment or disciplinary proceedings, it would not have permitted her to retire as established by President in Barry Gainsbourg versus the Florida Bar. So that's a case cited there.
And I know that guy. I know that guy. Yeah.
In that matter, the Florida Supreme Court made clear the resignation or retirement is not available as means to circumvent a disciplinary action. Furthermore, Leslie's retirement, as evidenced in the attached sworn affidavit from the Florida Bar, was voluntary. Should she ever wish to practice again, she would be subject to review by the appropriate Florida Bar Committee consistent with established procedures. Your continued publication of these false statements constitutes defamation per se under Florida law, and with another case citing. And that one is like, it's about knowingly making false and malicious statements that injure another's professional reputation, is actionable, and subjects you to both legal and financial liability. Additionally, under federal law, the repeated publication of knowingly false statements may give rise to relief under 28 U.S.C. 4101, the federal definition of defamation, and if made online, it may implicate federal jurisdiction. If you do not immediately cease and desist from spreading this false narrative, we will pursue all available legal remedies, including but not limited to an action for injunctive relief, compensatory and punitive damages, and recovery of attorney's fees and costs. This is your final warning. Govern yourself accordingly. And you sent that out to Jeremy and Jay.
Yes.
So what was Jeremy's response?
Well, his response was, "See you in court." And then now Jay, I don't even, is this his name? Jay, I don't even know it, but he had actually said, hip, whatever. Yeah.
He's a newbie, by the way. He's someone that girl Megan Fox recruited.
Okay. Well, you'll
learn who everybody is at some point.
Well, he ended up sending an email and he gave his phone number, and he said, he was willing to talk in a civil manner. And so I did send him, a text, and I did say, but he hasn't responded. I said, "It's Leslie. My husband gave me your number. I'm willing to speak to you about this civilly. Let me know when you're free to talk." And he has not responded back. But, he was the first one that, started this. And then I guess he appeared with Jeremy on his show and said something to him about this, as well.
Oh, wasn't it a super chat?
I think so. Yeah. See,
He was mocking you in a super chat. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course they're laughing at my appearance and, whatever they want to say. And these are just cheap shots as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? It's like, the whole point is it's deviating. In law school, we called it red herrings. Okay. Right. What it is it's a deviation from what is truly relevant, what's truly being looked at. And here, I came into this to look at this case in a, unbiased manner, just looking strictly at the evidence. And all of a sudden we have a red herring, right? We have a red herring about it's all now an attack against me, and now I have to defend myself or whatever that might be. And again, the truth speaks for itself. If they're so adamant that their position is so correct, why are they taking these cheap shots and deviating the whole thing that I was intending to do, which was to investigate this in an unbiased manner? And again, when I have been, contacted by those that support his position, I have asked them specifically for evidence, and I have yet to receive it. So, that's another thing. It's like, well, I don't care about your opinion. I don't care what you think. The law is not going to care. And I think Lisa, we had spoken where they were, I think in Hip Guys, live, they were making fun of the fact I've only been looking at this for a week. Well, what do you think a court's going to do? What do you think a jury's going to do? You're lucky if they look at it for a couple of days. So it's like, I don't need to be looking at this for 2 years. I'm going to look at this like a court's going to look at this, for the week maybe that you're at trial, or the jury's going to hear this. Okay.
Like, what's the bottom line? Get to it. Like, a lot of the stuff that's been going on is literally for content, and it's all irrelevant. And that's going to be brought up in court, and that's going to be brought up. No, it's not.
Yeah,
no, if you try to, the judge is going to be like, no,
listen, they're not. I was a trial attorney. I spent $5,000 getting trained from the top trial attorneys in the United States. There is a method to the madness in trial, and no, everything does not get to be shown to a jury. Okay, you have what's called motion in limines. There's things that you stop from. See, in this case, I'm assuming he's going for a jury trial, but they have bench trials, which would be in front of the judge or whatnot. But either way, before it even hits the jury, the judge decides what the evidence is that's even going to be heard by a jury. And there's a lot of legal argument that goes with that. So no, not everything is going to be relevant. What you must do is here's what my investigation was. And that's why it really didn't matter what happened 2 years ago. I was strictly investigating the allegations in the complaint that Jeremy filed. Okay. Because that's all that's going to be heard in a jury trial, period. You're going to look at what he alleges line by line, and you're going to say, what is his evidence? Right? You're not going back 2 years. I don't really care about that. When it comes to law, you have a claim, and you got to meet the elements of that claim. And there's a lot of things that you could say. It doesn't mean it's relevant to what he's claiming that he wants damages for. So do you understand? So there's a lot to it that, so anybody, and here's another thing, anybody who says that they know with certainty that this is how, the court is going to rule, know nothing. They know nothing because a judge has broad discretion. So you never can predict what's going to happen.
Right. All right. So you came on last night. We were talking about this, and we all went offline. We all went to sleep. We woke up to the lawsuit. So it looks like at 7:00 this morning, you filed a lawsuit about this, based on his response and everything else that's been going on since, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
and during.
Yeah, and I'm reading down below. Debbie says Megan's having a fit about her letter that she got, talking a lot of crap about Leslie. Let her keep talking, because the more she talks, it's the more evidence I'm going to go to the authorities, because I didn't ask for this. I've never targeted Megan. I was very fair to Megan in the beginning of this. I asked Megan if she wanted to do, an interview. She ignored me. Now apparently she's having a field day talking about me, making fun of my appearance, whatnot. And what she's essentially doing is she is cyber bullying me under the law. She is harassing me and stalking me.
She's been doing that. She did it to Bruce. She did it to Michelle and John.
Isn't she a reporter? I'm not a reporter.
She's supposed to be a journalist.
What I'm saying, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a reporter. I'm a legal, person behind the scenes with my husband's law firm. Okay, that just happens to now have a YouTube channel that I'm not monetizing. Okay, so
she did the same thing with Bruce. Bruce sent her an email, and she was live when she got it, and she's like, Bruce, stop harassing me.
Well, she doesn't know me. Let me tell you, I've been through enough shit in my life. I've been through enough wrongful attacks in my life. I don't screw around. Okay. And that gets to what you were saying. You woke up to the lawsuit. I don't mess around. Okay. If somebody's going to sit there and think they're going to have a field day with my name and my reputation and everything that I've worked hard in my life for, and they want to make a mockery of me, be prepared to defend against it, because I'm not going to play around. I will make it my obsession. I will make sure that I bring this forth into the right hands. If, and why I filed the lawsuit, I gave them a chance. I did a cease and desist. They both know, they both are in, receipt of the evidence from my own state bar. And that's it. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to say. Yeah, this is the complaint. This is what I stated, and this is absolute fact.
So
I'm going to piece it really fast. I'm so sorry. Start reading this. I got to run really fast to the bathroom really fast.
Go ahead. It happens all the time.
Be right back.
All right. So here's the lawsuit that was filed this morning. It says complaint and demand for jury trial. Plaintiff Leslie Frederigo's by and through the undersigned counsel alleges as follows for her complaint against defendants. Venue and jurisdiction. This action is for damages in excess of $75,000, exclusive of interest, costs, and attorney fees, and is within the jurisdiction of the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit in and for Orange County, Florida. Venue is proper in Orange County, Florida, because the acts and omissions giving rise to these claims occurred in a substantial part in this county as the action took place in Orange County, Florida. The parties: Leslie, an individual residing in Orange County, Florida. Plaintiff is not a reporter, nor did she ever seek to gain a significant following on YouTube. Her YouTube channel,
that guy's just so happy.
I know. Well, now he's going to get a taste of his own medicine, because what he's doing.
He did that.
Yeah. Her YouTube channel with only 7 followers originally was used because a lot of people from like our channel, whatever, has gone and actually subscribed to Leslie since. But she only had 7 followers, was used to post interviews at the request of acquaintances. Plaintiff earns a living by assisting her husband in his law firm with legal research and drafting, and by consulting with licensed Florida attorneys. Defendant 2, Jeremy Hales, is an individual believed to reside in Summit County, Ohio. Hales owns and operates a YouTube channel with over 750 followers, 750,000 followers, where he regularly reports on lawsuits he files against various individuals, documents disputes he initiates with neighbors, and frequently disparages attorneys representing parties adverse to him, including making fun of their appearance, religious backgrounds, and other personal characteristics. Hales' audience is primarily rural with additional international reach. His content has led to injunctions for protection by various targeted third parties, in which the defendants Hales and defendant Risk publicly mock unpublished videos. Defendant Martha George Risk, also known as George Hales Risk, is an individual believed to reside in Summit County, Ohio. Risk is a frequent collaborator and associate of defendant Jeremy Hales, and regularly appears on Hales' YouTube channel and related social media platforms. Risk, under the alias George Hales, has participated in the creation, publication, and dissemination of false and defamatory statements about plaintiff, and has engaged in coordinated online harassment, as further described herein.
Has anybody? I'm sorry to cut you off. Has anybody put a thing to George yet?
Right now? She's
You
in
see
this
that one
lawsuit.
too?
Yeah, she's in this lawsuit.
Yeah, no, she was right there with him, supporting him.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree. She's always saying this has nothing to do with me. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
she's always saying,
Well, then she
I'm
needs
not
to
a
make sure that
I'm not
she
a
gets over her
defendant.
content. You know what I mean?
Well-
Before she sits there with a smile on her face supporting it.
yeah, and mocks everybody. And she did throw some things out there towards you by saying, "Oh, if you're going to start researching, you better start researching here." Now, she acts like she knows the law. She absolutely does. She says you're allowed to put people's faces on thumbnails, and there's no law against it.
Well, there's a law when you're making money from it. That I've already researched the law. You can absolutely put someone's face on a thumbnail. You can make it satirical as long as you're not making money from it. Once you cross the line where you're now making money, you're monetized making money, and you're putting people's faces on thumbnails to drive traffic to your videos, you do have a major issue with the law at that point.
Yeah. And so people are saying like she's not married to him or not. Whether she is or not, they were engaged. They're
whatever. That doesn't matter. She was there as an accomplice with him.
Yeah.
And she was supporting him.
Okay, so defendant Elephant Shoes LLC is a business the defendant Jeremy Hales owns that operates and holds his profits derived from his YouTube channel. Defendant Ray Hip, that's J Hip. Does that matter?
No,
I guess
yeah,
it's-
it doesn't matter. I can change it because I actually did John Doe in the
Oh,
top.
okay.
Heading, so it doesn't-
Is an individual believed to reside in, because we
not
don't
in
know
the
where he is,
defined
right?
status. Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Is a YouTuber and an associate of Hell's. Defendants John, Jane Doe's 1 through 10 are individuals whose identities are presently unknown, but who participated in the publication.
So
and
once I get all the documents from Facebook, for all these people that have published this content who do it anonymously, they will be named as well. So they need to know that.
So that's what that means,
You
right?
know they're arguing right now.
What?
You know them two are having an argument right now because she's probably arguing with.
She's probably pissed off that now
Pissed
she's
off that
involved.
now she's involved in a lawsuit.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's her real name that she's tried to keep hidden.
Yeah. Okay, so this number 7 is for all the people who are basically playing party to all of it. You just got to get all their names. Okay. I can tell you quite a few of them actually.
And by the way, I'm going to be amending this too. I just wanted to get it filed, but I'm going to be amending this because I'm allowed to amend it once before I serve them. So,
right. Okay, cool. Yeah. Right on. All right. So factual allegations. On or about April 20th, plaintiff observed a disturbing post on Facebook regarding a mutual acquaintance who was a reporter. Plaintiff, out of concern, notified the acquaintance. The acquaintance subsequently requested plaintiff to interview him regarding lawsuits by defendant Hales. Plaintiff agreed and maintained neutrality, posing questions to her acquaintance, the reporter. At the request of this acquaintance, I'm getting tongue-tied. Hold on, let me take a drink. Okay. At the request of this acquaintance, plaintiff also attempted to contact a reporter who had reported favorably on Hales.
That was Megan Fox.
Yeah, seeking balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
On April 27, 2025, plaintiff emailed the reporter to schedule an interview but received no response. On May 6th, 2025, plaintiff conducted the interview maintaining neutrality and objectivity. On or about May 13th, plaintiff was directed to a Facebook group where she observed herself being attacked by group members. False and defamatory statements were published about plaintiff, including that she was knocked up by her acquaintance when plaintiff is a married woman, that she was an idiot, and that she was a disbarred attorney. Plaintiff also witnessed defendants in the lawsuit filed by Hales being targeted in the group with hateful language, threats, and posts intended to harm their reputations, accusing them of being criminals, mocking their appearance, and making anti-Semitic remarks, among other hateful content. Boy, ain't that the truth.
Yeah.
10, plaintiff was provided with voluminous video footage of defendant Hales and defendant Risk published to his YouTube channel, in which Hales stated that he was not filing lawsuits for justice, did not care what a court had to say, and was filing lawsuits solely to keep defendants tied up in court and to drain and ruin them financially. Hales expressly stated that litigation was about destroying the lives of those he sues and broadcasts these statements and his ridicule of defendants to his audience of over 750,000 followers. Additionally, plaintiff saw on defendant Hales' YouTube channel thumbnails and video coverage where he referred to the defendants in his lawsuits as criminals, mocking their appearance and making anti-Semitic remarks, among other hateful content. See Exhibit A. Plaintiff was subsequently invited by YouTube reporters who were also named as defendants in Hales' lawsuits to participate in their shows. Plaintiff conducted another interview in which these defendants named in the lawsuits appeared, notifying the plaintiff they were being attacked by the defendant Hales and defendant Risk, causing them harm and needing to voice their side to what was going on. Following the plaintiff's participation in these interviews, the Facebook group, What the Hells, resumed publishing false written statements that plaintiff was a disbarred attorney, making fun of her appearance, among other insults. On May 18th, defendant J Hip, hosted a live YouTube broadcast during which he mocked plaintiff's appearance and falsely stated that she retired to avoid disbarment. On May 19th, defendant Hales and defendant Risk hosted a live video on their YouTube channel soliciting donations and publishing false statements about plaintiff, including that she only retired to avoid disbarment. During this broadcast, defendant Hip participated and discussed plaintiff repeating defamatory statements. Immediately following the live broadcast, plaintiff had emailed defendant Hales a cease and desist letter attaching an affidavit from her state bar confirming that her retirement from legal practice was not to avoid disbarment.
I got George's new nickname. titmouse. She's a little titmouse.
Defendant Hales. Leslie, these are like Gabe's fun facts. He comes in.
No, it's okay. But what I wanted to say, what's important in allegation number 15 is that he is defaming me, and he's asking in the same live stream for donations. And I witnessed somebody giving him $20. Okay.
Yes.
So what he's doing, he's using defamatory comments about me. And he's again projecting himself to be a victim while in the same live stream asking for donations. Yeah, that is not. I mean, I can tell you right now. I mean, it's not good. Okay, and I'm sure that there's some
super chat was like about you.
Yeah,
like it says it. I don't even know how many were there, but I saw Jay.
He's trying to create a false narrative about me to make money, and that's not cool, because that's not only are you now defaming. That's why I'm going to amend this. I'm going to add more claims to this. Yeah, but you know he's taking
more to add after today.
Yeah, I mean he's taking it a step further now. You know.
Yeah. I'm telling you, when I'll say it after when I finish.
Well, you're not going to want to read the whole thing because it's so long. But I would just read the claims, like the actual claims. Like I'm suing him for defamation.
Right. Okay, so count one.
Yeah, it's defamation.
Defamation.
And
you want me to read that?
Because it'll take you forever to get through this because it's like 20 pages long. But I would just say it's defamation. And if
one is defamation.
Yeah, and then the next one is defamation per se. That means I do not have to prove damages. Because the nature of his the elements, so you guys understand where it says A, B, C, and D, those are elements that you must prove to prove that claim. So it says like a criminal offense amounting, if somebody accuses you wrongfully of a criminal offense amounting to a felony, you can sue them and you never have to prove damages. All you have to prove is that they said it. B is presenting existing venereal or other loathsome and communicate. Like if you said someone has AIDS or something like that. And you said that's defamation per se. You don't have to prove damages. Conduct, characteristics, or conditions incompatible with the proper exercise of lawful business, trade, profession, or office, which is where I fall in, because he's saying I'm disbarred. I make my living off of, a law firm, and then, or serious sexual misconduct. If you said somebody, was prostituting themselves or something, that's all that you don't have to prove damages. All you have to do is prove the person said the statement and you can sue them for that.
Right. It's funny because what happens is like something will happen on Jeremy's channel, right? Or there's something in a lawsuit with Jeremy, and you have these, people that are, his, what I call his minions, which we now call, I guess, Hodunk Hillbillies. But there's one that's a really brain dead one, and he goes on in the morning and has this like coffee thing, and I was sent a screenshot to it, so I went and I looked. And I'm listening, I'm watching, he's literally going over the cease and desist and saying how there's no way a lawyer wrote this, blah, blah, blah. And there's somebody in the chat that's kind of letting him know she doesn't need to have to prove damages at all. And he's arguing with her, yes, you do. You have to prove damages. And I'm watching this guy talk. Now, I've seen him like spew shit about tons of things. He's clueless. Okay, totally clueless. But watching him talk about law, and he's saying he sat on cases before and he's done this before. And I'm thinking, bullshit, I don't believe you.
That's why, Lisa, I have invited, like, even with the hip guy, I said, come debate me on my channel live. Come do it. You think you're so right. Come debate me. I put in 4 years into law school. I took, hundreds of cases across the state of Florida in both state and federal court. I won a landmark appeal. I had a lot of success when I was a practicing attorney. Come debate me. You think you're so right. Come debate me. And listen, the sad thing is I do feel bad because he does not have the knowledge that I have. It's not his fault. And again, I'm a big, advocate for education, for giving people the same knowledge that I have. I'm against the fact that
the problem is with people like him is, well, first off, he's following, his own narrative, Jerem's narrative, right? So he's got to go against you no matter what. But the problem is he's misleading, he's misleading his viewers. He's misleading people. He's lying based on that information. It's lies,
Well, that's the thing. That's why people have to look at the source. It's like, if anything, they're trying to knock me down, claiming I'm disbarred and nobody should listen to me. But then they want someone that never went to law school, that knows absolutely nothing about the law. They want them to listen to him. I mean, it's like, I'm not trying to sound like whatever. I don't care. I mean, say that I was disbarred. I still have the knowledge of a lawyer. It doesn't matter. Maybe I did
Right.
something, you know what I mean? Maybe I did something wrong and I harmed the public. It doesn't mean that I don't have knowledge of the law, like, you know, more than, you know.
And this guy is clueless. But that's why I was like, last night I was saying, like, if you were going to interview one person who may even, but I doubt she would, especially now, would be Megan Fox, because she knows a lot about cases because she was supposedly a legit journalist. You know, she's gone over lots of cases. She's done stuff with Mike Volpe. He will tell you that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's the only one who, out of this entire group of people, the minions, that I would think would have the knowledge that all this is bullshit. You know what I mean? That this is all wrong. But she won't admit it, which is why I don't think she'd come forward. If she wasn't smearing for Jeremy Hales, doing the whole smear campaign and trying to get like people like Jay Hip to, you know, recruit them and come on, I think it would be a totally different story. Totally different story. She would be completely on the other end of it. And but you know, hey, you know, now since this was, let me just go over. Let's continue going. So it's count 1 is defamation, count 2 is defamation per se.
Yeah.
And then we got
infliction of emotional distress. And here's the thing, and this is what I will add this. I am ADA protected, so everybody knows this. I haven't added this yet. Meaning, if somebody messes with someone that's ADA protected, and really, you know, like messes with them, like I can actually get way more damages because I am ADA protected. I'm not going to explain why, but what they're doing to me is I toyed with the idea of bringing this case in federal court. I still could withdraw it and file it in federal court. I haven't decided yet if I wanted to. I just kind of wanted to get it filed quickly. You know what I mean? So I brought it to Orange County. But like I said, you know, they don't understand that they're messing with somebody that I have federal protections to what they're doing to me right now. And if they go down that line, because it is public record, if they go down that line and they use it to blast me, I will get the Department of Justice involved. They haven't done that yet. But if they do, because it is public record, if they do, I will go after them, especially since he is a profit-making business. And he is using, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, so this is basically for the emotional stress that they've caused me, which they are. I mean, you know, last night I couldn't sleep. Today I was in bed all day. I'm not going to lie. I was in bed depressed about all of this all day. This is not something I set out to do. How did this happen?
This is like 2 weeks, you know what I mean? If anything.
Like, you guys don't, I'm still human. I don't care. You know, we're human, and I have enough of my own crap that I have to deal with on my own personal level of life than to have to take this on right now. This is not something I expected to take on. But I don't know how else to stop it other than doing this. I had to file. There's no other way to stop it. But yeah.
Well, that's what I've been saying all along. Like, well, with everything that's gone on since, let's just say August of last year. Okay.
Yeah.
But to me, I mean, I've gone through all the evidence, you know, with this whole case, right? And my knowledge, other people's personal knowledge and stuff like that. I've laid it all out. I have a timeline. It's it's there. It needs updating, the whole 9 yards. But from everything I've watched, witnessed, learned, whatever, the only thing that's going to stop him is a judge or hitting him in his pocket. You know, that's it. Otherwise, and you know what? I don't even know if a judge will stop him, but the only thing that would be the law.
And possibly his marriage, possibly the fact I've named his wife in this. That's not going to be happy.
That could end up being an issue, but I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, that guy's got such an ego, and I mean.
Well, look how I gave him a chance to retract what he was doing, and he says, "See you in court." So he's so hell bent. But the thing is that But he did go back and retract his girlfriend or partner or whatever she wants to be called. No, but I'll tell you right now what the court is going to hate. Mm-hmm. This is the best thing that I could bring out, and I intend to bring it out. Is his videos where he says he doesn't give a damn about what a judge, is going to rule, that he's strictly there to inflict pain and harm on the individual, doesn't care about justice through the court. The court's going to hate that. The court's going to hate his deposition transcripts where he goes off on an attorney in the most humiliating manner that I've ever seen in my life and my husband's ever seen in his career. courts are not going to like that. And don't think for a second I'm going to bring that out to the judge and let the judge know who he is dealing with. So the court is not going to be so happy about when they see who he is and who he carries himself out to the public to be.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, they're not married, because a lot of people saying just want you to know that they're not married. She was the girlfriend. They broke up. They came back. They got engaged. They were supposed to get married. They didn't get married.
Video that they got
married.
Who knows
if they really did?
What was that video? Because I saw a video where they got married. I don't know if that was like real or not. I don't know. There was a video out there where they got married in the video, but I didn't know her name, so I can't reference to see if it was valid or not.
Was it? It was probably the one where he got engaged or something like that, or there was something. There was a video, but they didn't actually get married.
Okay,
I forget what it was.
Yeah,
but yeah. So no, they were supposed to. They didn't. It was his cousin. That's right, or her cousin, right? They won in Egypt. That's what it was.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in that video, they were talking about getting her wedding dress in Egypt and stuff. So that's probably where that was. It was her cousin's wedding. That's what they went to Egypt for. Yeah. And he had already like proposed to her or something. She wanted to get married before she was 40. That was a thing at the time.
Let me ask you a question. She has said on her stuff, like and this isn't exactly the most credible. I just Google searched it and it stuck out because she has the same birthday as me, but it had the year that she was born is 1982. But then I've seen her on these podcasts where she's claiming that she's 54 or 53 and how she's so tired. She's lying. Is she lying about her age to people?
Well, that to me, honestly, is just like a recent thing. They're probably joking about it for some reason.
No, but it seemed very real. Like she was wanting her audience to like really believe that she was this, in her 50s. Yeah. And the thing is,
it's about it. They do things, and I think she's a better actor than he is. Because you could tell with him, he's like the fake laughter, all this other crap. But she's more serious when she says things. Let
me ask you a funny thing, because so on the Hodunks, right? There was that Manson Hodunk. You should actually play it. Did you ever play the Manson Hodunk? But anyways, like when he brings his guitar and he always says to the
I thought that was hilarious.
Like, but he always says, "Do you want me to play my guitar?" Like Hale says this, but he doesn't really have it. Has anyone ever seen him play the guitar? I want to know this. The reason I ask is does he play the guitar or not, or does he just because he lightly strums? He lightly strums on what appears to be as any amateur would do. If they picked up a guitar, they would go down the strings and they go drum, but he doesn't really play like a song. And no, I just wanted to know: am I
songs?
I just have yet to see him actually play the guitar, and it's like
chords.
I just know, like, why does he hold a guitar? Is he a guitar? My question is he a guitar player? Like, is he? Because I have yet to see him play the guitar.
Not a guitar player that I know. Guitar player. No.
Then why is he holding the guitar? And
so he did these things at camps, and stuff with the Skyview place. It was like a camp. So he was always around kids, I guess, and he's also a preacher. And I mean, I didn't go back to see how far exactly what he did, but when he goes on his lives, he did a male song. Now this is from like years ago. He did a male song. I don't even know I haven't even seen him do a male song in any of the newer stuff that I've had to watch.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, he starts off with a song, and it's always like these chords of camp songs and stuff.
But it's not like the guitar. It's like I've been around musicians my entire life, and
me too.
It's not a guitar playing. Like he's not really playing the guitar. Like he like strums, and that's it. And then he'll like yodel. And it's like what the hell is this? Like, is he like where's the guitar playing that he wants everybody to hear? And so I just asked myself, like, because I could go pull a guitar up in my lap and go on every single live and be like, I'm gonna play the guitar, and I strum one time. Doesn't mean I can play the guitar. I'm sorry, I just had to make that point because that's something that really I just couldn't understand it. But anyway, that's not my own thing. I'm sorry. Like my husband and I were waiting for the big moment, like because we'd never watched this show at all, nor would we ever really watch it. We're only watching it now because of all the crap going on. But my husband even says, well, where's the guitar playing? I go, yeah, where is the guitar playing? Like, where's the damn
electric guitars? He's got like these electric guitars on his wall that he likes to walk by when he's at his $1 million home.
Does he really have electric guitars on his walls like he's a guitar player?
Yes.
Why isn't he shooting out a freaking guitar riff and like, let's hear some guitar playing, man. Let's hear it. Because I have yet to hear it. Because I've heard one strum and a bunch of yodeling. I'm sorry.
Right. Exactly. And then like now what he does is on these these intros, he'll change a song and he like writes lyrics that fits, whatever his narrative is. So and it's all played.
Is it meant to be comedy? Because I mean, it's definitely not music. We know it's not music. Is it meant to be comedy? Like, what is it meant to be?
To me, it's meant to mock people.
Okay, because I don't get it. I just don't get it. And like he holds the guitar. It's like all of a sudden he's there and he appears with this guitar. Yeah. And I'm just waiting for the moment where he breaks it down and we're all going, yeah, hell yeah, keep going, man, keep going, play that freaking guitar.
Not gonna happen.
I have yet to hear anything remotely close to that. It's like it's almost like you almost look at it like a joke.
Yeah, he has
I know you, Lisa. You know music, girl. You know music, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay,
yeah. It's funny because I remember one time he was playing some kind of chords. Because he's trying to play like Over the Mountain or something like Ozzy Osbourne. Like that's not happening. It's just not happening.
It makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder why. I always ask myself why. Like if someone can't play the guitar and they're like shitty, because in my opinion, he is yet to show that he can actually play. Why do it? The only thing I can think of is like that Hodunk video with Manson where he's like, welcome to the family. You want to feel that family? I'll bring my guitar out.
I'm like, oh my God.
I'll get my guitar out. We'll be family singing old songs together because you my family.
They broke out the guitar. They broke out.
Hell yeah, let's go get around here. No, you know what I mean? That's all
you saw. I'm guessing you saw the one. They have you in one of the Hodunk things, and how they're coming after you. And the funny thing is, it's like they have you like talking, and then you're walking, like you're walking towards the screen. I'm like, oh, check that out. They got her like strutting.
Yeah, I saw it. I got it. There was an email that was sent to me by I guess like in the video they call him Hip Horse Face. And he sends me a video going off on me. An email going off on me. Like
whoever this is like right on top of all these
like accusing me of the Hodunk. Like, and he's like going off on me, crazy, whatever. Yeah. But I was laughing. But I mean, it was actually the thing about the Hodunk is like there's like you can't help but see a little bit of truth in all of it,
it's like a comedic like deep truth.
They need to make a movie like that. They need to like actually like make a movie because I actually think it'd be a movie.
It could, man. It could. It's hilarious. Like I said to Gabe, because I was playing the Hodunk hijinks. I uploaded today, and he's watching it, and he goes, hold on a second, wait a minute. He goes, I'm offended. I said, why are you offended? He goes, I'm a Southerner. I said, this isn't about Southern people. I said, this is about the Hodunk, the minions, the Hodunk.
The Hodunk is not the Southern person. Because I have a friend and she's as sweet as can be. She's from I think she lives in Alabama. Her name is Mary. She talks like this and she's so sweet, little Southern belle, right?
Oh, I love Southern belle.
She's so sweet. And she was dying. She was actually like, oh my God. She goes, they have it so right. She goes, they even have them buck dancing. And I was like, and I go, Mary, what is buck dancing? She's like, oh, Leslie, it's buck dancing, and I'm like, what? And she goes, and they have it so well with the girls in their curlers frying an egg at the stove, smoking a cigarette hanging out of their mouth, and I'm laughing. Oh my, like, and she's like, but that's how she was telling me that's how it is. You know what I mean? She's not offended. So she was laughing her ass off over it.
And it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. All right, let's see what else we got here. So.
Yeah, just one other count. Basically, it's now this is conspiracy, okay? Because the last count is conspiracy. Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
I also did it because I noticed he wanted to say everybody conspired, but realistically, what he just did.
He's the one doing it.
Yeah, it's like what conspiracy is that you know something is false. Okay, they knew this, both him and Hips, Horse, whatever, knew that it was false, and Riz knew it was false because they were provided with contrary evidence. And they still chose to publish it, and they did it supporting each other. They all got together. They appeared on the same show, and they did it. That is conspiracy.
Yeah. You know, when they get them all in the chat, and they think it's just just because it was George and Jeremy on there. No, they're all in there discussing, talking.
That's the thing that shows you it's conspiracy. They all knew, and they all.
And then it moves from one chat. Like, okay, so he was live yesterday, not 8 o'clock, right? So what happened? I mean, obviously we went live, but we're not part of that. But this morning it was Vet Nation.
Oh, you want to hear what Megan Fox sent my husband? I just saw the email. Dear dummy, your wife posted revenge porn of me on her YouTube channel. You might want to see before threatening anyone else. No, I never freaking posted revenge porn. That I posted revenge porn.
What?
Yeah, I never posted revenge porn of her. What the hell is she talking about? if they're talking, you know what they're talking about is Rich playing his thing. You know what I'm saying? That I had no idea he was going to even play. You know what I mean? And I'm not a freaking reporter.
God. Yeah. See, she like, there's the spin. There's her spin. She loves spinning.
Yeah.
She's a spin queen.
Posted. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
So
Megan. So you sent Megan a cease and desist too, right? Well, so this is the conspiracy thing. So that's what we're talking about. And you demanded a jury trial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just say that. So they're planning to respectfully request that this court awards compensatory, special, and punitive damage in the amount to be determined at trial, and to judgment in plaintiff's favor on all claims. Order defendants to retract all defamatory statements, award plaintiff reasonable attorney fees and costs, and grant such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. So this was filed this morning. With the filing that I have, the copy I have, there's no case number yet. So.
There is a case number now.
Oh, okay.
I think I sent it. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Because I know somebody asked what the case number.
I'll tell you. Hold on, Orange County. Hold on. Bear with me for a second. I posted revenge porn, like as if I'm going to post revenge porn on this woman. Please, it's ridiculous. All right.
Well, hey, you sent her a cease and desist. Right. Yeah. I don't have that.
Okay. So you want to know the case number? It is 2025.
All right. One sec.
Okay.
It's not working. Hold on.
All right.
2025.
CA 004528. Okay. But I am asking for the court to seal the case because of how he treats these cases, and I don't want him profiting from our case, like to make it content. This isn't about content. He's caused damage to me, and I am asking to seal the case, and I have enough, I think, evidence, but we'll see. I'm going to ask the judge, but I do have enough, and I will add, anybody else, like I said, that's why I left it. If you look at the very top of the thing, I did leave it, because I still don't know, Ray Hip or Jay Hip. So I put him as John Doe, and I put the other defendants that are chiming into this. They're going to be named defendants too. You know what I mean? I'm not playing around with this. Like this is my reputation. I have a law firm. I have 3 kids I support and take care of. I'm not playing around with lies about who I am and my license or my retired license or whatever that might be. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes. I'm thinking about the guitar riffs. Oh my God. I write music, Lisa. I love writing music. Yeah. It's like my pastime, girl. I write music and I do prank calls, believe it or not. That's me and another. Oh God, yeah, girl, you should hear my prank calls. You'd laugh your ass off.
That's so funny.
No, I do. I'll have to it's so funny because I told you this whole thing got to me so bad. I just deleted my TikTok, and I'm kind of upset because I actually had a good following on TikTok, and I deleted.
Can you get it back, or is it just?
I don't know. I mean, let me see if I don't know because I liked my TikTok. I couldn't. I just didn't want to deal with more scrutiny over this because this is I'm not. I might be strong, but I'm not that strong. I mean, I'm human
Right.
for God's sake. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to
Right.
be like, I'm not asking.
Look, I've been doing this for a while, and trust me, it's stressful. Like, guys, don't think that I'm not being stressed because I was facing becoming a defendant or
I can tell you right. I can tell you right now, she's stressed.
Okay, I just reactivated it. Okay, so I reactivated it. But like my TikTok is like, it's kind of like, it's me. Like I cry on my TikTok. Like
Right.
I it's me. Do you understand? It's like me, not lawyer Leslie. It's the raw, authentically me. Like I also teach dance on Tuesday nights. I choreograph. I African dance. I hip hop dance. I do a lot of crazy shit nobody would even know I did. And I do like I said, prank calls. Girl,
that's funny.
I'm gonna send you my prank calls, Lisa. You would laugh your ass off because I've got a character called Jimbo Scooter. Scooter.
I would honestly, Leslie, to be truthful, I would not deactivate that. I'd make it private, just for now.
Yeah,
because they're really bad, man.
I know. That's why it was like I was deactivating it because I was like, I don't need to endorse shit. Like it's not that important to me. Let's put it that way. It's not that important to me.
I'm just saying, if you don't want to lose your followers or what you have, like if there's a way to deactivate it for now, but not lose everybody or the things that you've done.
It's like my followers are there. It's like every so often when I feel like I need to like get a good cry out, I need to be authentically real. That's what I do with my followers. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're just real. They respect my realness. I respect their realness, and like that's what it is. And like I make no money from it. It's just a place, like a platform, you know. But with these people, it's like like I'm not gonna reestablish my Facebook anytime soon. I really don't need it anyways. But I deleted all that because I don't even need to see the shit. I don't need to see what they're saying about me at this point.
Like just trust me, because they go on and on. There's quite a few of them. They're relentless. Like there's this Anita chick or Nia, whatever the hell.
Oh God, yes, she's from England. She's not even American, and she's
created a group about you now, and she's gone into another group and said, let's create a group. Let's keep this peaceful over here, and we'll create that and put that bullshit over there.
Just a group about me.
You need a life, bitch, huh?
Just a group about me. Well, you know, it's like maybe I should go on and just start posting the most ludicrous lies about her and tag her name in it, like shit that doesn't even make sense. Tag her name in it. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, that's ridiculous. Okay, because they're going to be named, and you know, they think that because they're in the UK that nothing can happen to them. You know, that isn't exactly true. But you know, it might be a little more difficult.
Well, it'll go to another agency. You know, and they'll deal with them over there because you know now this has become an international thing where I'm being targeted by another country. Are you kidding? Like,
exactly.
You know?
Exactly. You know, so when they started doing this, like anything they could get, you know, the fact that I don't show my face, okay? And meanwhile, I have. It's not that I haven't. I just choose not to because I'm sitting home. It's the 10 o'clock at night.
Well, it's like who wants to get dressed up? I mean, I love the fact that I can come on and not have to get dressed up, you know?
Right, exactly. And I can sit here and chill. And the way I say it is like, I grew up with hanging out, you know, at my house. We're all sitting around the dining room table, you know? Sorry, with my mom, and you know, we're having a blast. So to me, it's like right now I don't have that in my home. So I'm coming out here and I'm talking and chilling with everybody else. You know, we do crystals, we do whatever, except for the past like 8 months. We always talked about celebrity news, gossip cases, things like that. But this is like a closer to home thing that is about people I know, people I didn't know. Now I'm, like, oh, hell no, you're not going to affect the 5-year-old child. She's a child who's 5 now. You're not going to ruin her life for at this point, like the rest of her future is like kind of fucked. Everybody's going to know who she is. Everybody's going to say this, say that, unless we could somehow stop that from happening. And the only way to stop this from happening is to stop him legally from doing this crap to these people, to anybody else. But in the meantime, they're coming after us. They came after you hardcore. You're here 2 weeks. Look what's going on. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. I have chosen because I was attacking back at everything. And I said, you know what? This is, I need to focus on the main story here. Let them say whatever the hell they want because they're lying. They brought my husband into it. My husband came on, explained the situation he was in because they found it, whatever, big deal. It's really not a big deal, but they're harping on it. Then they're calling me a scammer. They're calling me a fraud. They're calling me all this crap. And they're about money that was given to me to do things for the family because I said I was going to do them. I said I was going to do them regardless of anybody helping me. You know what I mean? I wanted to help them, you know? Other people wanted to as well, and they did, okay? And some in big, big ways. Others by just being here and supporting. You know what I mean? So there's a whole bunch of different realms of people who have helped put this all together, you know? And they're trying to come at me and call me a scammer, a fraud, or whatever. Meanwhile, there's a fence there. There's a party that existed. People were there. And there's video there. I just choosing not to show it because every time I show a picture of the child, someone's taking the picture and posting it all over Facebook. And then there's stuff for the barn. So everything I said I was going to do, I've done, you know, and one's still like an ongoing project. So they've trashed me as much as they could, you know. So, and it's a continuing thing. So what I've chosen to do is I don't even watch. I don't know. The way I find out is when someone sends me screenshots or sends me a link or whatever, they'll tell me what it is about and I'll go check that part out. You know what I mean? If in fact it's something necessary. So like right now in my email right now, I actually have stuff from tonight's Megan's show. All about what they're saying. They're saying it in the chat. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I have all that, which obviously is going to be saved. I mean, her show is already being recorded. You know what I mean? But these people will go after you and they'll say, and they'll make up the biggest stories ever. The other night you had that umbrella guy talking about me, literally about the donations that were given to me, calling it a fundraiser, which it was not. And literally trying to convince one of the donors why he should be against me and that I trashed him, which are lies. He's feeding the lies. Watching the chat was insane with the stories that they were saying. All a bunch of lies, you know?
Yeah.
It's insane what they will do. And that umbrella guy goes on live. I don't even know what nights, but he's either by himself or he's with Megan. They're like a team.
Yeah.
And so they'll just go and say anything. Like tonight, she's saying whatever she wants, and apparently, you sent the cease and desist, and now she's going off on it. So this is something you got to get used to.
No, I'm looking right now and on my YouTube. Okay. And I have somebody going, it's funny how, let me go to it. Basically that I'm trashing Hales. Okay. I trashed Hales on my Facebook, which I don't even have. And I never have said anything about Hales from my Facebook. Right. Okay. At all.
How are you trashing him?
That's what I want to know. And then I said, where is it? Hold on. Because this person comes up and they go, it's funny. I'm trying to find, hold on, where it was. Hold on.
Guys, say hi to Gabe. That's Gabe in the chat. That's not me. There you go. Okay, I see him.
but no, they're saying, they go, it's funny how, because I quoted a Bible verse that says, do not judge, or you too will be judged. For the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measures you use, it will be measured to you. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she goes, it's funny. I think it's funny that you're quoting this verse from the Bible after you've spent the last few weeks trashing Jeremy Hales. When you admit on your Facebook page. Then she says, okay, first of all, I don't use my Facebook page at all for this. Are you kidding me? My Facebook page is private. When you admit on your Facebook page that you know almost nothing about his side of the story, what Facebook page did I say this on? I'd like to know. Then she goes, you don't need anyone else to tell. It's called research, and everyone has the ability to do this. You see, all you need to do if you simply collected all the court footage from Ohio and Levy Court, as well as the Levy Sheriff's footage, right? So then I just said, tell me what I have said in my words to trash Jeremy Hales. All ears. Love to, other than maybe his guitar playing, No, I've played videos of his own words, and I have commented on his own words. and I have made, comments on how he has acted in his deposition. Yes, I have. And that's
reacting to what he's doing.
And then she says, and then I said, my Facebook, I said, show me my Facebook page where I say this. Cause I know I've never said anything like this from my Facebook friends and family.
Rachel,
don't even know this is going on. The last thing I'm going to do is post this on my Facebook. And then I said, show me my Facebook where I trash Hales. I'm waiting.
All right.
But you know what I mean? It's like where this is where the gossip flies. Now, what is that going to now become some lie that, legally Leslie is trashing Jeremy on her Facebook page? I would like to see this Facebook page that I'm trashing Jeremy Hale.
Right. People say I'm on Facebook all the time, and I'm like, I don't use Facebook.
Nobody in my world knows who Jeremy Hales is.
Right.
If I were to even post it, nobody would even know what this was about. Okay.
Right.
And I'm certainly not going to post this because I would look foolish to post anything about this on my own Facebook page. So what Facebook page is she talking about that I'm trashing Hales on?
Yeah. Yep. I read the chat from Tugs the other night because I was listening to it and I'm watching, and I'm just seeing all the stuff that they're saying. I'm like, wow, these people are so full of crap. And then I know we're going to talk tomorrow about the emails with people trying to give you information. I know we're going to talk about that. There's a lot of false information there too. And I'm like, wow, these are the actual things. These people believe this stuff, which is why they're sending it to you. They actually believe that this stuff is going on, and it's all like come from Jeremy and spun from Megan Fox, Tug, Shizzy Wisnuts, another person with guitars on his wall behind him, which I think he should try and go learn how to play. These people are hilarious to me. They're all acting like they're journalists. There's only one who's, I guess, was legit journalist. Gabe, please have Lisa see the chat. What I miss? Hold on. Hold on. What did I miss? I missed something. Up. What am I looking for? They made a Facebook page with Leslie's. Yes, that's what we were just talking about. They made a Facebook page with my name as well? Or just Leslie? It's because they don't come on that fake page is up and in Leslie's name. Okay, it's okay. Look, they're going to do this. You know what I mean? They're going to continue to do it. And what I've done is I've literally just said, say whatever you want. I really don't care. Like, one of the reasons I don't show my face all the time is because my dog bopped me in the chin and broke my tooth. So in having to get my teeth fixed, they won't do one thing because otherwise it's not going to work. So like there's a whole thing I have to do with my mouth. So I choose to not do it. So I have a guard I put in my mouth and stuff. And apparently at some point they caught me with that. So they catch this picture there. They take it like in a frozen, image, and they pass that all around. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are losers. So I ignored it. What am I going to do? Like this is not a big deal. I'm not hiding from people. I was literally out in public, at these events that I did with doing the fence, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? I'm not letting these things bother me. I'm a big girl. I'm 5'10" and a half, and I'm not skinny. You know what I mean? You want to make fun of my weight? Go right ahead. I bet you Jeremy weighs a lot more than me. So, he could say whatever the hell he wants. But, I had an injured foot when I was getting out of a truck, which he could have only seen on cameras that are on Michelle's property, facing Michelle's property, I should say. So he made the product about me with, stuck in a truck type thing that I couldn't get out of the truck. It wasn't that I couldn't, it's just that I had to turn my foot to get my foot out first. Otherwise I would have hurt my foot. How would he know that unless he was looking at those cameras? So there's things that they've done. There's things that they've said. They're making money off of mocking me. They're making money off of making products about me. And it's not just me, Bruce, big time Bruce. They've done it to Bruce. They've done it to Michelle and John, and that they're profiting off of mocking and hurting other people this entire time. So I just keep going forward. To me, the focus is on exposing the truth and what he's really doing to people. And that's what I've been doing. Yeah. I'm not defaming him. I'm taking the truth. I'm going, who are we looking at? Who is this person? I pulled up his public records. I pulled up everything public that I could. you know, and I'm continuing to do the same thing, you know. And he's hating it. He hates me. He's turned this whole thing into a conspiracy that I've created. First it was Deuce. Now it's Lisa created it. Like, okay. He can't even get my name right, you know? So there's so much that goes with it. And I just want to say, hang in there. It's just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And let me tell you something, honey. You came out like a ton of bricks. Like, bam! You know, you want to play? Let's play. Boom. And I am, you're very strong, and you have the law behind you. You know, I research and I have to learn about the law. I know a little bit pieces here and there and different types of law. I have family members that are lawyers and stuff like that. So I know a little bit about it. I fought my own case and won. A 10-year-old case and won. So I get law. I can understand law, but you know law. You're a trial, you were a trial attorney. And so you've got the law backing you. You know better, which is such a breath of air to have you on, because you see the same things that I'm seeing and you're putting the law to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's absolutely fabulous. And I just think that you're not going to let anybody walk all over you, and neither am I. So I got your back.
Yeah. No, girl. I'm like, I just saw this site that they made about me. And I am going to authorities tomorrow. This is really? Total cyberbullying.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing. It's the U.S. It is the federal statute 182661 U.S. 18 USC 2661A. Yeah, that's the cyberbullying and the cyber talking, whatever, sucking. Yeah, yeah, cyberbullying and cyber harassment. That's the federal code. Yeah, for that, which we've been saying all along that Megan and Tug, that's what they're doing. That's what they will eventually go down for. They just have no idea when it's coming. Yeah. So, but the Facebook group, yeah. No joke. I wasn't even going to say that because I saw that earlier. I was going to wait till later, but it's you got to ignore it. You got to ignore it. Yeah, I mean, handle it legally. You don't have to take it back from me. I'm
filing it like as we speak. I'm filing it in the civil case to show the level of hate these people are doing.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to show why this needs to be sealed. You know what I'm saying? Why, like, what they're doing. This is sick. This is absolutely sick.
I didn't send Robbie a link, I guess. Hold on. I'm going to send him a link. Don't let it get to you. Yeah. Because it's just going to go on, they're just going to try. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to piss you off.
Yeah. No, I'm reporting them to authorities for cyberbullying tomorrow.
Yeah. But that's what has to happen. So like all this stuff, like the YouTube videos that all these things are coming up on, the Facebook posts, all of them, they're being reported, and the reports, like when you report and you receive, a thank you for reporting type thing, those are all being saved. And there's also a thing, if Facebook or YouTube doesn't take care of it, we're going to show them that they didn't, which is the whole bad faith thing. Yeah. That's going on with YouTube. Like Richard Luthman brought it up, and I still have not gone back and looked at it. I mentioned it last night. It's 230 either a rule or it's a liability clause or something. I have to look and see exactly what it is, but it's a good faith type of thing where they're not liable for the things that people do on these platforms. Yeah. But which would need, would need to be proven that it's in bad faith, that they're not taking care of it and what's going on. And for instance, like with Jeremy and these videos about John and Michelle for the past 2 years, that's not taking care of it. That's bad faith. So, there's a bunch of different angles to go by, and as far as getting relief from all this, cyberbullying crap. And people have been using YouTube, Facebook, all these platforms to hurt people. It's not just Jeremy doing it, Yeah. There's tons of cases out there. And it's, in a sense, I want to say, new to the court because of the new laws about it, So, I mean, involving the social media platforms, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like there's not that many cases that you'll see in regards to it, because all the cases are starting to come out now. Like in Pennsylvania, they just had their first anti-slap case one, you know?
Yeah.
So, which is another part of this case too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these cases, I should say. So there's a lot, you know, to look into and go by. But as far as what these people are doing, they're just hodunks.
Yeah.
Hodunk hillbillies.
Well, I'm reporting this to authorities tomorrow because and I actually somebody got a felony. I reported the same type of behavior and they went to jail over this. This was last year. This guy started this crap with me and I did the same thing and he went to jail over this. So I'm not messing around. I'm not like, I just saw this and I'm like, as we're talking right now, Lisa, I am filing in the civil suit and I'm filing this and this is getting reported to authorities tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm not playing.
It's all happening from his
because I decided to interview somebody on a different stance than, you know because I didn't agree completely with him off the research I was doing. Now I'm going to be attacked and my family's going to be attacked. And you know what I mean? Like, this is sick.
Yeah. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And, you know, like I already, like, as far as I go and like Gabe has his own case against Jeremy, you know?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things, but I've also been working on the background while putting everything all together from like day one, you know?
Yeah.
And people haven't seen that and that they've heard me mention it. It's just that because it's evidence, I can't show it all, you know? But there's going to come a point where I can. And then they'll see how long and how hard, because they've been listening to me. I go live like 5, sometimes 6 nights a week, you know? I have 2 set days. Well, now 3 set days. Actually, tonight will be 4 set days now that we're going to be doing these on Mondays. So, you know, those are the nights that I go live and I talk about, you know, things that I do daily. And they know that I, like the people here know that I've been working hard on it. They just don't know, like they're not seeing it yet. You know what I mean? As far as the evidence, and I just keep trying to let them know it's okay. Things are happening. Things are happening. I can't force anybody to do anything. I can just hand over what I got as evidence. But when you look at it and you see, it's one thing to see an incident. Like for instance, okay, let me give an example. Otter Creek, the Levy County Sheriff's Department, right? All these things, these incidents have happened and stuff. They get called. The reports are unfounded. Some of them are not. And the ones that are not unfounded are the ones that are still being investigated. And while there's an investigation going on, you can't get, you know, the public information from it, right?
Yeah.
So the investigation takes time. It takes place. There's a lot that goes on. Now, I can't sit there and tell what I know about it, but I can tell you because Jeremy actually told everybody himself, there's a criminal investigation going on. Yes, in fact, there is. But what people have seen on these channels is an incident at Walmart where Jeremy approached John Cook and John was just, you know, at the register, like paying for his stuff so he can leave. And here comes Jeremy flying in with a camera, acting like, you know, John was breaking a contempt order. Because somebody told Jeremy that John was there. So Jeremy ran up there and tried to act like John was breaking a contempt order.
Yeah.
You know, breaking a protection order. So that's like him setting John up, you know, and we have the footage from Walmart, you know, showing Jeremy looking for him and walking up to him. You know, we have the other contempt order where he's lying to the cop. But they didn't happen, you know, on a Thursday and then Monday this happened. Some may have, but no, they're like, you know, there's a lot of time in between some of these things. So you have an incident here in, I don't know, January. You have an incident here in March. They don't know about the daily stalking with the drive-bys and stuff. You know, that's different. That's somewhere else. But so you have, let's just say 4 or 5 incidents throughout a year. And they're just looking at it incident per incident per incident. When you put it out there and you lay it out on a timetable, right? A whole big time frame. Okay. And you show this incident happened, then you show this entire week, the following week, the week after, of daily drive-bys filming, stalking them every day. Okay. Then this incident happened. And then you show more of the drive-bys every day. Or you show a video where you got someone like your minion that works for you across the street from the house yelling and saying stuff, or the cameras or whatever on another YouTube channel stalking, or you have people coming to visit your thing to get a little toy out of a mailbox and sign a guest book so they can come by and see Michelle's property. Things like that. Like, all kinds of things, or video, or Radis following Michelle at a Chinese restaurant and filming it, hiding behind a column, at a, I guess like a plaza full of stores, and he's filming her coming out of her the Chinese restaurant, like things like that. Like, you see all the timeline of everything that's happened all at once. Then then the sheriff, then the authorities are seeing this is going on a constant basis every day. This isn't just an incident here or there or 5 per throughout the year. This is going on a constant basis. See, that's the one thing that the sheriffs weren't seeing. They didn't. Yeah. The sheriffs didn't even know about the signs. They didn't know about the signs.
Yeah.
So it's like, all this stuff put together is now able to. I mean, we're like, a lot of these people in the community have watched, they've seen it all. It's like, oh my God, when are they gonna do something? When are they gonna do something? But they're looking at an incident here and incident there. They're not seeing the whole big picture until it's provided to them. And now it's a whole big thing. Like, Jeremy's trying to claim conspiracy here. Well, he's got a whole big mob over there of workers that are all in that area doing all kinds of different things, stalking, driving by between him, his girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, Travis, Deanna, Jessica K, all those people that live there, okay, and work there, stalking her on a daily basis. It's a very small town. There's only like 100 people there, if that, maybe a little over, and this is a constant thing. So, tell Robbie I sent him the link. Hold on, I sent it to him. But it's constantly going on, and that's what's, been happening. And it's behind the scene things that all of the timeline had to be put together, and it's there, and it's constantly being updated daily. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot. So, I mean, the evidence is out there, and it's everything. It's got everything from each court case. It's got all kinds of patterns, all kinds of relationships, the whole character of each and every person involved. It has absolutely everything, all the debunking that has gone on that I've done. It's a lot, and it's been in there. Yeah. So, whatever you need, honey.
I'm going, you know what I'm doing right now? I am sending every single person that's a part of this hate group notice that they're being reported to law enforcement tomorrow.
Right on. Do it.
And I am, this is going to law enforcement tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm citing the statute. This is hate, and this is sick. Mm-hmm. And then those that support Hales want to ask me why I'm disgusted, why I have something to say. You're damn straight I have something to say.
Right.
Do you think that this is normal for people to make hate groups as adults? You think this is normal?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
This is sick.
Yeah.
And anybody who supports this guy and the people that support him, you guys, something's wrong with you. You guys are filled with the most evil of evil that I have ever seen in my life. Okay. I've done nothing to any of you. I came into this neutral, wanting to look into something, and now I'm getting hate groups on Facebook. This is sick. Sick. There's nothing. I'm sorry. Like, I am like,
no, you're good.
This is absolutely sick and disgusted. And I don't give two shits what anybody wants to tell me happened with Michelle, happened with whatever. You think this is okay? You guys think this is okay? Anybody out there think this is okay to go around hating people they don't know, provoking hate? What are you, the devil? Because that's what what are you guys, the devil, if you think that this is okay? You think this is, you want to call yourselves Christians? You want to call yourselves people of God? This is sick. I'm sorry. I'm upset right now. I'm really
go
upset because I'm looking at this and I am disgusted.
You sound as passionate as I do about this. Yep.
What?
Your passion's coming through. I mean,
because this to me is the most disgusting act of humanity I have ever seen in my life, and shame on you who support this. And you wanted to ask me why I have not gone further with Hales? Are you out of your mind? When I get in the beginning of this and this is what I'm encountering, I'm seeing this sort of freaking behavior by grown-ass adults.
Right. Yep.
I'm sorry. No, you're damn straight. I don't really give a shit at this point because this is sick.
Yeah.
And anybody who condones this, you're as sick can be.
Yep.
You want to go take someone to suicide? Let you sit with that. You want someone to go kill themselves over what you've done and then have the law show up at your door that you cyber bullied them so bad they're dead? Now you're charged with murder? Is that what you're hoping for? Is that what you want?
That's what happens. You know,
I'm ADA protected, people. You want to mess with me and get me to that point? You watch your freaking world unravel. You don't know what I deal with. You don't know anything, and you're going to harass me to this level on Facebook? You sick, evil people. You are the devil. I'm sorry. I got to take a break. I am disgusted. Don't you anybody ask me why I don't support Hales. Because you know why I don't support him? Because he is infiltrating disgust like this. I'll be right back.
All righty. All right, guys, let's check out those super chats. Let's see. We have a Big C. Thank you so much. Marla, shout out to Tree of Life's generosity. Oh,
I'm just wondering how he got all those, he just managed to get every psycho on YouTube to join his channel.
All right. Rebecca, Lisa, Guapo's here. That was a little bit ago. I don't know if Guapo's still here. I didn't see. I'm sorry. Marla Hughes, thank you so much. How would Leslie have revenge porn on anyone but someone else? Yeah.
Somebody told me to shut up.
Someone told you. It's Jared. He said, shut up, Dave. It's a thing we do. Yeah, I think we already hit that. Thank you, Marla, so much. Rebecca Blizzard, thank you. Bring Guapo on about what Jim did to him. Oh, is he still here? Is Guapo still here? I sent a link to Robbie, but Robbie's not responding. Hold on. Mike Johnson, thank you for your part on the super chat. Lisa, tell Leslie about Jeremy and the memorial. Right. Okay. Oh, he just read. Okay. All right, here we go. Robbie will probably be on here. Yeah, I'm telling you, guys, it's when you see what's happening, and I know you guys have, but you got, like, from a legal standpoint, you have to see that it's very frustrating when you see how the law isn't doing what they should be doing, how this case is even still sitting in a courtroom. Like, a lot of it's bullshit. So, you have to have passion for what you do. And, Bruce literally walked into this thinking that he could, help give some, help to this family who obviously needed it. It turned out he was able to go pull Hawk Vici and join and try to help them and defend them. And he tried and he did. And I mean, look what was done to him on all levels. And no matter how much he tried to let the court know what was going on, it was being ignored. Welcome, Robbie. Hello. I sent you a link.
What's happening?
Hey.
What's going on?
We've just been talking.
Hello, everybody.
I didn't see. Okay, so I didn't see this Facebook group. They created a Facebook group about Leslie, and she just saw it, and she's quite upset about it because it's just she's witnessing the actual hatred.
And she should be.
Yeah.
She should be, because this is absolutely disgusting. We've always said it. And they get away with this.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah. So
this is it's sad. These are sick people, and anybody who supports that man, they are sick, and they call themselves Christians.
Yeah. There's people out there. You have to understand too, like, Leslie has worked with people that have been wards of the state, and she's actually had 12 people have their guardianship removed, so she's worked with people that have faced certain types of depression or maybe anxiety and things like that. Now this is my verbiage. She can explain it herself, but she knows what it's like when people say these things on social media and stuff, and how it can affect certain people. So she's not talking out her butt or anything. She's telling the truth. This is what it comes to for people, and it's not right. It's not right what they're saying. It's not right what they're doing. They don't know who they're talking to or about. They're just making shit up, and they're trying to hurt people no matter what, and that can have some very serious results. We've heard all about it.
Yeah.
And she's worked with people like this, so she's very passionate about it, and you're hearing that right now. She didn't know about this Facebook page until she came on tonight, so she just took a minute to
I'm back. I'm just so disgusted. I'm sorry, but you don't expect.
Leslie, just take a minute, put it on mute, and scream as loud. Go outside, and scream as loud as you can. Let it out.
I would, but I'm just you guys. I want to just bawl, to be honest with you, because you guys don't even understand.
Honey, don't
how
do that.
hurtful this is.
It is. It's absolutely disgusting. And I told you that when you first came on and I said what you're about to witness and find out.
Evil. This is evil.
It is.
This is the devil. This isn't God.
And they hide. It's cry it out. Just get it out. It's evil. Get it out of you.
No, it's real. It's real.
Let me tell you guys something. I experienced a realm back in 2011. I'll never forget it. And to this day, I'll never question whether there's a heaven and a hell and whether there's a God and a devil ever again, because I experienced something that many people have never experienced. And I have seen things that many people will never experience. And I can tell you right now, there's a spiritual war on this earth between good and evil.
Oh, 100%.
And I can tell you right now, this is demonic. This is demonic beyond. And I will not support evil. And anybody to do something like what I just saw on Facebook is the most evil, sick, demonic thing. And if anybody wants to come to my face and tell me why I don't support Hales, because I see what Hales produces. That's what I see. I see the type of follower that follows Hales, and it's evil.
You haven't even seen the worst of them, and that's DJ Radis.
Yeah.
There's much worse in there that support him. And this is all satanic shit. It's just disgusting.
Yeah. We're very passionate. I know everybody knows how passionate I've been about it. And Leslie, look, I've broken down too. When I've heard a lot of the things that they do on a daily basis, how they're hurting people. When I think of this child, when I think of this family, trust me, I've broken down and I've cried too. And I try to contain myself, but I'm just real. It's just who I am. I'm very, very strong, but I'm also very, very empathetic, and I do have a big heart. I know that. And I see that in you as well, and I see your passion for truth and your passion for the law and for people and who you've actually, the people the cases you've taken on, So I know, and just how you're talking with the law in this, God, I'm telling you, it's a breath of fresh air, and you're just as strong as I am, if not more. So, I mean, you got the law behind you, and you know what you're talking about. I'm sorry that they're doing this to you. I understand exactly what you're going through at this very moment. But it will it will. We just got to take care of it, and we got to let them know that they can't do this to people. If it's one at a time, it's one at a time.
They've got to be stopped, and it's absolutely disgusting what they do. And Leslie, I thank God that you were brought to this, because you're the person that sees it and you realize how bad it is.
Yeah, this is sick.
I'm telling you, after reading the filing that the lawsuit this morning, you can ask Robbie, what was my text to you? My exact words.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after reading it, I literally was like, I wanted to just go file against him myself for those reasons. Although I'm a defendant in the other case, dysfunction mind. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello to Leslie. Be strong. God placed you here right now. God always prevailed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Leslie, I believe that 100%. There's a reason you're here. There's a reason you came into this. And God knows that reason. And God knows that you feel so strongly against this. And that's why you're here.
Thank you, Becky. Kim Shu. Leslie, thank you for coming. And I'm so sorry this is happening to you. Please don't let them get the best of you. They don't know you. They don't know you. Thank you so much, Kim. Kim's awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are absolutely fabulous. I believe she was brought here for a reason,
100%.
And I think that together, all of us will do what's right, and we will do what's right with the law, and we will be able to stop this legally. That's how I feel.
Lisa, it's just like when I was so upset that one night, and I said, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. God, if I can't do this anymore, show me a sign I should still do this. And the next day I pulled in front of that.
Yeah, that 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
And that sign's been there forever. And I've never noticed it. And it was raining that day. So I pulled over so I could answer some text messages. And I look up, and that's sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I read, the first thing I saw was number 9. And I said, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a warrior. She's absolutely a warrior. And, but trust me, guys, that when you first see it, it's shocking. When you first see the attacks or whatever it may be, you're like, oh my God, wow. It's quite shocking. Now, I haven't seen this Facebook except for the first original thing. It's that Ania chick that started it, the group.
Yeah, it's really bad. It makes fun of my appearance. It's now saying that I published revenge porn. I never what the hell would I ever publish revenge porn against Megan Fox? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, they make shit up as they go.
Like I'm sorry, I would never ever in my life make revenge porn. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, where is this revenge porn that I supposedly did? They're sitting there lying about me all over this Facebook. It's absolutely disgusting. But it's being reported. I'm taking it to the police tomorrow. And this is cyberbullying under the statute.
Yeah. Well, see, they think nothing can happen because, when you report things, nothing happens, right? It's a different story when the police go in. The police have a specific link that they go to get into Facebook, and they can go and they can see exactly what's going on.
Well, I have screenshots of this, and listen, I got somebody arrested a year ago, and it wasn't even this bad. Wasn't even this bad.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to the authorities. It's not going to matter. They're going to pull and they're going to subpoena Facebook, and they're going to subpoena the records. And these people they're going to get in trouble because you can't do something like what they just did. And why the hell am I being so attacked as if I haven't done shit to these people?
Right. No, you didn't. They actually came after you because you were just
I was just investigating.
Let's just say you went on Megan and Tug's show, right? And or you interviewed Megan. before you did Volpe, right?
Yep.
Would it have mattered? Would any of this be going on?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have gone on until you did Volpe,
Yep.
until you did Bruce.
And I have
or
an email. I asked to
Well-
interview Megan. It's like, what
Mhm.
type of girl is this? She's no
Right.
reporter. She's no reporter. How could she be a reporter, ignore
Right.
me, and then turn around and talk all this crap about me? That's not a
Mhm.
neutral reporter. That's no reporter I want to listen to.
Yeah. And as much as you do things, sorry. Here we go. Summertime. Anyway, as much as you do things legally or or whether it's organized or with a certain procedure, when it goes to the law or whatever, they're laughing at it, they're mocking it, they're doing whatever. Like Bruce, attempted to contact them numerous times, and then they keep using the one time he originally contacted them as every time he contacted. It's like they just lie about everything.
They got to be stopped. Everybody's got to come together. They're doing serious damage to people's lives. This is evil. This is not. And anybody who's going to feed into this is they all deserve to go down together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody in the chat saying like, don't let them see you being upset about it. No, this is real.
But this is real, and let me tell you something. I'm gonna sue the shit out of these people for the damage that they've caused me. And you can take this video, you can show them that they have caused me mental anguish. They are ruining my reputation. I have done nothing but do an interview and say I'm going to look into something,
Right.
and it's like what I published Jeremy's own words that I thought was I didn't like his words. I'm sorry. What he said was wrong. It was horrible.
If
that
you
he's gonna
criticize
harm
him,
people with litigation.
yeah, if you criticize him or you go against him or you just don't agree with him,
This is evil.
forget it.
This is evil.
Yeah.
And let me
That's what's been
tell
going on
you.
all along.
Yeah, let me tell you. This is evil, and God stands with good, and God will prevail. And I will not back down. I will not back down to evil.
Amen.
Because I swear to you, Lord, I have a picture, 8x10 picture of Jesus behind me. Everything I do in my life is for Jesus and is for the good and for the good light and to bring people to the light. Jesus knows my heart, and I will not evil let you infiltrate people.
Right.
In Jesus's name, I will not. And this is what is happening. I don't care. People can say what they want to say, but this is evil. This is nothing but evil. And it's evil. It's what they talk about in the end times. Maybe it was on social media. Maybe it was all these false prophets that would pop up on these YouTube influencers. Maybe this is the end times that they talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? A while ago,
750,000 followers.
They were going over like language from back in the day, right? And then now like what do they call hieroglyphics and stuff like that? And then they were going over the Bible, the Quran, and other just like old gospels, things like that. Like they were going over what the number 666 meant, right?
Yeah.
And in one language, 666 was also www, what we look at as www. And I said, holy shit, it's the internet.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was interesting. Now it doesn't mean it's true, but it was an interesting concept.
No, it's the thing is that evil, like, and people might not believe in exorcisms. Lisa, I sent you that video.
That was crazy.
Yeah. So there's real exorcisms that have been done. And the crazy part is, and I have a book too. It was from a psychiatrist who never believed in this sort of stuff. He went to like Yale and he never believed in it. And then I guess they brought him in to decipher whether or not somebody was truly insane or they were being demonically possessed.
Yeah.
Through his course of his work, he ended up, his name is Dr. Gallagher or something. But through his course, he realized that there's a clear difference and he could absolutely tell when somebody was being demonically possessed. But whenever they would perform these exorcisms, the demons, and they say that they would come in like clans, they would come in legions, is what they would say. It wouldn't just be one, it'd be many. When somebody would try to invoke or take a demon out of somebody, they would spout out anything that person had done wrong in their life. It'd be like an attack on that person's soul, as any mistake they ever made. Well, let's be real, none of us are perfect. We've all done things that we wish we didn't. That's part of being human. Is anybody perfect? That's why Jesus said, when they brought the woman in front of him and said, she committed adultery, and they wanted to stone her to death, and he says, ye who throws the first stone, take the speck out of your own eye. Meaning you have no right to judge another human being unless you're perfect, right? But the demons will attack you with everything you've ever done wrong in your life when you go to try to bring someone to salvation or take them away. And so this is why I'm saying, like, these people that are doing this, it's like the demons, the legions of demons that are attack. Let me say anything I can about anything you've done wrong in your life, and just make you vulnerable and make you feel like a piece of shit, because that's what demonic entities do. And I've experienced in 2011, I saw very clear that we are not what we think we are on earth, that there's a whole nother entity out there. I will not get into that, but I will tell you what is happening is not normal. And this to me, in my opinion, in my walk with God, this is not of God, period. But somehow I fell into this, and I have songs on my own personal YouTube channel that I've written because I felt inspired by God, and it was always about me being a soldier for God. And I always felt like I was a soldier for God, and why I decided to become a lawyer, because you guys don't know my story. I became a lawyer after I tried to take my own life, because the system failed me in 2011. And I almost died. I was in a coma for 3 days. And I woke up and I swore to myself I'd never be at the mercy of a human being again, especially the legal world. And that's when I decided to become a lawyer. My story is not a normal story. I didn't go to law school at 22. I wasn't some privileged kid that just went into law school. I went to law school after I fought for my life in a coma for 3 days, having tried to commit suicide. That's my story. But I'm just saying, it's like, what is going on right now is not normal, and it's not right. And so I have to ask myself, how did I get put into this? I didn't ask for this. I didn't know who the hell this Jeremy Hales guy was. I don't care who he was. I never would even watch his content, to be honest with you. Why am I here right now? And it's, I'm a mother of 3 young kids.
Fighter.
That's why.
I am a fighter, because God knows I'm a fighter, because when you look death in the face, you don't fear things anymore. You certainly don't fear what life throws at you. I was homeless. I lived homeless for a year. I never did drugs in my life. I never have a criminal record in my life. It doesn't matter. I don't judge those who do, because nobody's perfect, and don't even get me started on our system, because they pick and choose who they want to make criminals. It's a whole nother realm. I don't judge anybody with a criminal background, because there's plenty of criminals that got off the hook. Okay. But the point is that, it's just sad that, this is what's going on in this case, and why this has affected so many lives. And I don't even to this day understand how I ended up in this. I really don't. Does anybody think I want to be in litigation right now? I really don't. I've got a lot of other things on my plate right now that are very stressful.
There's a lot more things you could be doing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? And it's like, to see, to be treated, you can only think, and you can honestly only pray, because I do believe with my heart, God gives us the opportunity to change until we die. He gives us that
100%.
opportunity. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I look at these people that are infiltrating this sort of cruelty and evil and hate. And I don't look at it as them. I look at it as they're surrounded by a legion of demons right now that are infiltrating their hearts, that are taking them away from God. And it is a war. It is a spiritual battle on earth.
It is 100%. Look at Hollywood. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. Look at P. Diddy, all that BS. Look at what's going on in Hollywood right now. Look at everything that's happening. We are in Revelations, and this is the beginning of the end. And people can mock that all they want. And I don't care. I know I can see it. I'm not blind. I left LA. I woke up one day and said, what the hell am I doing? CeCe DeVille and I were the biggest drug addicts in Hollywood. It's no secret. One of my greatest accomplishments, besides my 3 children and my wife, is the day I quit drugs. And I am proud of that. And then you want to attack me and tell me that I'm using heroin and selling drugs?
That's what the demons do in these exorcisms.
Yeah.
When these priests come in and they try to exorcise the demon out, what does the demon do? That he shouts back at the priest all the things wrong the priest ever did.
Right.
You know, it's a very demonic trait. And yes, like Stacy's saying, you know, he needs to be exposed and held accountable. And my belief is, you know, I came here originally as somebody with a legal background trying to look at evidence, you know, in an unbiased manner. But I feel like this is more, it's bigger than that. I think that we need to bring back God. And I think we need to bring back the principles of God, because that is the only way to expose this man for the evil that he is doing and that he's infiltrating onto people.
Absolutely.
Look what he did to his
what
wife.
I'm doing here. That's what I've been trying to do. We're all fighting a similar battle with this. You know, anybody who is coming forward and trying to expose the truth is literally getting slammed in every which way. Lies, all kinds of, all this bullshit that's going on. And you still just got to push forward. That's what I've been doing. And honey, I'm so glad you're here, because your knowledge with the law is going to help stop what's happening. And when you filed that lawsuit this morning, I was literally like, oh my God, you know, I was literally speechless, because I was like, I want to do the same exact thing. But I had to think about it because of the case that I'm already in. Right. So I'm like, all right, how am I going to do this now? Because he's done the same to me. You know,
this is like, I think, I really, really think the answer, like, even though I filed the lawsuit, that's just one part of it. You know what I mean? It's me. I feel like Ray says, Leslie, you may want to talk to your family about what's going on. Safety first. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, and my husband is aware, you know, he's aware of what's going on, and we're just both in shock. But I still think it's like, you've got to, I always, when I'm in a situation like this, I always have to rely on God in my faith. And I really believe if we stay true to our faith, to God, to the principles of what we were taught, and stand true to that, you know, even though it's easy for us to reach outside of that and become, you know, like them. You know what I'm saying? We've got to stay true to God. You know, we've got to, because this is, in my opinion, this is a spiritual war, and this is a very powerful demonic entity that has obviously attached many legions of demonic influence into a pact of people who are there to destroy. It's scary. It's very scary. And that's why I started deleting all of my social media today, because I don't want them touching me. I don't want them coming around me, you know? I mean, I have to file the lawsuit. I don't know what else in human form to do at this point. You know what I mean? But this is not something normal. This is not something normal. And I think we just got to pray, and we've got to really, this is where your wisdom with the Bible really is going to stand strong.
Yep.
Yes. 100%.
I agree. They want me to tell you what happened with the memorial, Leslie. Robbie, why don't you explain a little bit about that? I'm just going to go get some ice for my drink here. All right. That way I can keep talking. Not tongue-tied. The memorial.
In Otter Creek, there's and Mimi works for me, volunteers here. She lost her brother in a four-wheeler accident on the street in front of Jeremy's property. Now, they have always had a memorial there for Frankie, and the memorial was taken down right after the hurricanes. And then Mimi put up a new one. It was taken down again. She put up a new one. It was taken down again. Then they put in a big 4x4 and flowers and everything, a memorial. And Jeremy made it known that he had always said you guys could always have a memorial here. Then all of a sudden he said they couldn't have a memorial there. They need to learn how to choose their friends better because they were working for me. And then went over there. Michelle's camera caught him stealing the memorial. Once again, the last one, the final one. And it's not even his property. He said it was his property. Lisa, all the subscribers here threw in money. They got the survey done, and it's not even Jeremy's property. It is Tina's property, the next door neighbor, and where the tree is, where he hit and passed away. And this is how, tell me that is godlike. You're a Christian to take down something this family has right there. Mimi goes by it all the time.
Yeah.
And how do you do that to a family who lost a son, a brother, right there? How do you do that? And all he wanted from them was the story so he could put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's evil. You wanted to profit off their story of them losing their son, their brother.
Yeah.
You're a sick, sick individual.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
And that I was in tears when that all happened. Because
Did you tell her that we caught him on video?
yeah. Yeah,
He's
we
been
got him.
arguing that property's been his all along. And he continued to, knowing he was caught on video. And then we had a survey done, and it's not his property. It is, in fact, the neighbor's property. And he basically stole property, defaced property. And we'll see what's going to happen with that. It's not over yet.
He took down the no trespassing sign.
Yep. Yep. And this is a guy who claims to be Christian this whole time. Removed the memorial 3 times.
well, they say there's false prophets in the end times.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lion in sheep's clothing. It's in this case, it's Satan in sheep's clothing.
Thank you, Peculiar.
Yep.
It's terrible. And he's got Travis using that sign. Travis did a video of the shed and the wood. I mean, it's easy to see that that's the wood from those posts. Because you could see where the signs were on them. And so now what we have right now is a bench that cannot be removed. Well, it can't be removed anyway because it's not on his property, and that's been proven. So we went and we had everybody chipped in, and we have a memorial bench being built that's going to be placed there. And so that's when, like, when you hear me say, like, we've been righting wrongs that he's done, that's part of it too, you know? So you want to come at me saying I have some kind of conspiracy against you, dude, you're just pissed off because I'm trying to fix the hurt that you've caused people and exposing yourself. You know, I'm exposing your lies. All the evidence that's against him is things like that, the stalking, and the his own videos. It's all his own words. Just like you said you were doing with his, the video that you did. It's his words.
Yeah.
So,
No, I just looked at, I always like to look up biblical quotes. It says the Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. Timothy 4:1.
For one.
But it's this is not of God. I mean, the way that people are being treated, the way that this is being conducted, this obsession that is grabbing hold of people and in creating such division between us versus them. This is not something that's normal.
You had to hear what the when he attacked Guapo, that was like on a Saturday morning, right? He always does lives on Sundays. On Sunday night, he went live and was talking about life lessons and teaching people life lessons. And he has no problem being the one to teach life lessons.
See, this is where their wisdom is failing them. They didn't get the wisdom to discern somebody who has wisdom and someone who doesn't.
Well, he said he brought up Noah and the ark and how God punished everybody else and only saved animals and Noah and his family, and how that was a life lesson to everybody, and how he has no problem teaching Guapo and others that same life lesson. Like literally,
God's not there to harm. God is love. God is love. God isn't there to harm and hurt people.
Right. But that's how he spoke of it, and how he was going to be the one to do it.
Yeah, and he compares himself to God right there.
Yeah, that's the first time that I really saw it, and I'm like, did he just say what I think he said? I mean, I was like quite shocked. But yeah,
it's Jeremy. There's no one that walks this earth without sin. There was one person.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I thought that there's only one person to judge.
And there is only one person to judge.
Mm-hmm.
Who is he? Is he placing himself as the Messiah, the second coming of Christ? I mean,
that's how he was acting that day.
That's my point, and that's what Charlie Manson did when he grabbed his followers and had his followers kill on his. When Charlie Manson never killed any of them, he basically brainwashed them. Right. Telling these people he was the second Messiah, that he was basically
Jim
of
Jones.
God. Yeah.
Jim Jones.
It's sick.
Yep.
Look at all the false prophets in the world who have done it. Hitler.
Yeah.
Stalin.
You can't, if you are listening to somebody who's judging others and provoking hate, that is not of God. And God says, in the end times, those with wisdom, they'll be able to discern between the false prophets and those that are of God. And that's the sad part, is that these people can't discern that this is not of God. God does not choose hate. He does not choose harming people. It is not of God, period.
No.
It's okay. So like we're referring to people that are known cultists, right? And so we're referring to Manson or Jim Jones or even let's say the Antichrist. And it's so when you talk about it like that, you think, or even Hitler, you know what I mean? When you talk about like that, people may think that is so far-fetched, right? To think that it's possible that germ could be something like that. You have to, these types of people that are controlling like that, they start at a certain point or a certain level. And the more attention they get, the more their ego builds, the more maybe the money they make, they get worse and worse and worse. Like we never saw Jeremy in this type of way, like what he's doing now. We never saw him like this. That's not what he was showing.
Abraham Lincoln said, give a man power and he'll show his true character. And the thing is that, the more power he has, the more he's going to show who he truly is. And the thing is, with all these people like Hitler, Manson, all these other people, they all had commonalities. I've researched this. The commonalities are they will always create an us versus them scenario. You're either with us or you're against us, right? They will dehumanize the other side. So the target, that's the enemy, will be dehumanized. They will no longer be viewed as human beings. And I believe that's
to all of us.
yeah, I think that's why they make these jokes and give you guys these names, now giving me these names as if we're not even human, as if we're some character in a cartoon. Do you understand?
Exactly. Yep. And I refuse to allow that to stand. I'm no cartoon character. Yeah. Although my thumbnail might show one. But I'm not, and I have a voice, and I have rights, and I have a heart, and I'm going to fight for those who maybe don't have as big of a voice as I do, or who can't help themselves or speak for themselves, or may have and it's not getting where it needs to go. I will help get it there. I may not be the main person, but I will help get it there, and I'll find someone else who will speak louder than me, and that's what I am not about evil in any way, shape, or form, and as far as I'm concerned, if I can help evil go away, I will make it happen. So that's just how I feel about it. But people like this, especially if it's like a low level of it's there, and you got to stop them in their tracks legally, because if you don't, he's just going to get worse, because he's going to get away with it, and he's going to go on to something else. I don't even know how much worse. What other family is he going to pick to do this to again? What's next? Yeah. What's next? Who's he going to do it to? So, and that's what's scary. He's gone from humiliating others to dehumanizing them. Yep. Well, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But Leslie, I thank you so much for being here and helping us see the right side of the law with these cases and everything. And
I wish I could get, it's like, but realistically, the law is founded on biblical principles. That's, if you trace it all the way back to
it is,
and it's law and order, and it's about creating order in a human civilization. And obviously we don't, there's a separation out of church and state and things like that, but there still is those principles, as far as, the law goes. Obviously it's going to vary from state to state. It's going to be different, in federal.
Right.
I'm here to help with all that. And that's initially what I wanted to do. That was really my point in coming into this. But unfortunately, recently I've had to dodge bullets I never expected to dodge, and I feel that those bullets that needs to be dealt with. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like what's going on, because that's, character is everything. Character is everything. That's why, they have this mockery of me on Facebook. I saw, they want to mock me. Go read my story. I published a book on it. It's on Amazon. Go to I have on my actual real YouTube, I have my entire audio experience of what I did and why I retired, what led me to that. It had everything to do with principle. Do you not think?
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Let's just, so I'm a defendant in this case, right? I have to answer or respond to the case.
Yeah.
How do you think I feel now about putting an attorney on it and putting their name to it and adding them as my attorney and letting them defend me? Am I supposed to feel okay with anybody that I would have represent?
That's the thing. They've created such. That's why it needs to be sealed. There needs to be a gag order, because they're gonna go after it. Like, look at me. I just came in innocently. Look what they've done to me. Any attorney that's going to defend anybody they're going to do the same thing to them too. They're going to research. They're going to try to drum up whatever they can to discredit them. And that to me is a red flag, because that just tells me that you don't have a good case. Because if you had a good case, why are you so concerned about dodging and trying to drum up things about somebody else? It has nothing to do with the allegations. Like, what does my background have anything to do with the allegations that I'm trying to look at? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It really does.
The thing is, anything you're saying about the law, they can go and look up themselves. This is the thing.
It's not like I'm telling them. I'm just
want to do. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, but you're right. They can look it up themselves. It's like, but you know what they want to do, it's clear they want to make this a scene. They want to drum
Yep.
up views. They want to make this like a movie drama, let's make characters out of everybody,
Yeah.
but the people's that the people that are benefiting is Jeremy, he's getting
Yeah.
richer and richer, from all this.
He's benefiting. Meg and Tug are benefiting. All their minions are. They're benefiting.
Yeah, I mean,
And
truthfully, like in a circumstance like this is normally when I just vanish because I say to myself, I'm not going to let them have anything from me.
Right.
But I'm not vanishing because I recognize that there are people like you that are suffering in this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm willing to stick around to like help you guys out. Otherwise,
you.
if you knew my past and how I dealt with things, I just vanish. I vanish.
Right.
I actually have a petition for a name change going right now because I dealt with this before when I went again. I've gone against evil. This isn't my first rodeo. Okay.
Right.
And that's why I was a good attorney, and that's why people come to me because I was fearless, and I'll go head to head with you, and this is evil. But I'm here, and I'm gonna be here for you guys. They're gonna attack me, I'm sure. And I'm gonna go and use everything that I can use to try to stop it. Doesn't mean it's gonna help, or because again, criminal entities, they also have discretion on what they want to pursue and what they don't. It's not a slam dunk. Just because someone didn't abide by the law doesn't mean they're going to be criminally sanctioned, right? It's up to the prosecutor. But I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to give an easy, like, I'm going to make it a hard fight, But it's just I really am sad to see that this is our future and this is what's come of everything. And I have kids, and sad. It's really sad. And I didn't, I when I almost lost my life and I decided to become a lawyer, I had no idea that I was, the field of law too. You guys don't understand. It's not perfect either. There's a lot of evil in our court systems. A lot of evil.
I've been told I should have been a lawyer, and I'm like, man, I couldn't prosecute someone who could end up being, innocent, and I couldn't defend someone who might be guilty.
It's, you
and
guys,
I'm like,
I saw something. The reason I retired my license, I saw things that nobody will ever see. You guys will never see what I saw. And I will tell you right now, there's a lot of evil in our court systems. So it's not always the just place that we believe it to be. And to be honest with you, I don't like dealing with our court systems for that reason. But in this circumstance, I'm not quite sure what else to do. It's either, I can't sit there and say I expect, she said, Leslie, can we see his sealed case? It's not sealed yet. I'm trying to get it sealed. Right now,
I think what she's referring to is Jeremy has his history, his like arrest records or things like that appears to have been sealed.
Yeah, you guys would have to
17 beyond.
Yeah, I'm sure like you could probably get into it through some mechanism. I don't particularly know how to do that because I've never really tried to get into sealed cases. You'd probably have to go to like a private investigator, you know what I mean, to be able to get into certain things. But yeah, I mean, but like I said, I mean, I'm not crazy either about our court systems. I'm not crazy about anything that humans.
I'd be dead already. I would have had a heart attack because I'm too passionate. If I was in, defending or, I would just have had a heart attack.
You guys don't know
what I saw.
Yeah, you guys don't know what I saw in our court systems. I was the only attorney to get 13 people out of guardianships. And you don't even know how much these people were suffering. These people are in their 50s, by the way. They were placed into guardianships. Their entire estate, their entire life worth was being drained by attorneys and attorney fees. And as they wrongfully accuse these people of being incapacitated, and I was able to go in and free them. And then when they were free, they had lost their entire life savings. And guess who housed them? I housed them. I brought them into my home. I took care of them to get them back on their feet. Do you think the legal profession like that? No, because the legal profession, they're about power and money as well. So no, I'm not
No.
exactly
It's the
liked by
root of all evil.
yeah, I'm saying I'm
Yeah.
not liked by the legal profession at all.
Mhm.
But they never had grounds. I never did anything to be disbarred. Show me one thing I ever did to be disbarred. But I did get a lot of enemies. Not gonna lie about that. I had a lot of enemies in the legal profession because you got to remember, I didn't become a lawyer to make money. I became a lawyer to change the system because the system failed me in 2011 when I tried to take my own life. That's why
Right.
I became a lawyer. Okay.
Right.
So you know, it's so deep. It's so deep, but you know, people are not going to understand that. It's going to be too complex and they're going to throw bullets like they're trying right now. But
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, anything that's built by a man is flawed. Period.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we do have a system and you know, we hope that it works for us, but it doesn't always work for us. And
Correct.
you know, just as you guys are getting to know me, I have an underground community that I appear on a podcast with thousands of people in an underground community on Wednesday nights that knows the damage the legal system does. And I'm a big person in their world. I'm their hope. You know what I mean? So when I'm attacked like this, like I'm a hope to a lot of people out there because I put my life on the line. You know, I put, you know, do these things. And like I said, I can't even explain this to the people that I'm their hope for. You know what I'm saying? Because they would never even understand what the heck this is. You know, it's like this guy that is a YouTube influencer. I mean, these people have lost lives. They've lost loved ones. They've lost their estate. They've been home. We're talking real damage here. I can't go telling them I'm dealing with some YouTube guy who freaking does, you know, whatever surprise magical tricks where he grabs things out of storage units. Like, they would think I was insane. Do you understand? Like the shit that I deal with is real serious shit. And I'm a real serious advocate behind the scenes that nobody understands. But yet they want to sabotage my name to everybody. They don't know that I'm somebody pretty big to an underground world that nobody knows about right now. But it's a serious, you know, it's a serious world that a lot of Americans are dealing with that hopefully, and I pray that none of us have to, but you guys don't know the pain that others endure. My book here, I'll show you. Hold on. It's called Lawyers versus the People. But you know what? Here, I'm going to give you a link because guess what? You like audios. You guys like YouTube. I have a YouTube and I have an entire, the beginning of my book is on audio and it's free. You don't have to worry. I don't make any money from this. But you can listen to it and you can know exactly who I am. It's on my Wisdom and Wonder channel because I write children's books to teach children about character and about being more godly. And my whole purpose is that because when God spared my life, I promised God I would live for God. That was our exchange. Let me see here. I'll get it for you. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, he spared my life. I looked at death in the face. You guys don't understand. I was under a severe attack that people would think I was crazy to even say it, but I'm going to share with you guys. This is the first 13. There is a chapter that repeats, so you'll just have to be aware of that. You'll just have to know that when it comes, but hold on, let me give it to you. But this will say it all to you. Hold on. Sorry. Because like I said, I have my own YouTube it's really for my children when I'm no longer here to know who their mother
If
is.
you post it on here, it might get attacked or something like that. Just so you know, I mean, just aware.
Oh yeah, because all these people. Well, I'd love for them to attack this because this is about if you attack this, it's like I don't even know. Then you are like because this is. Let me see. Well, it's basically it's called the book is called Enemies of Justice, and I also have on YouTube. It's under E.G. Alexander. It's my writer's name, but hold on. I just let me see here. I'm trying to go how I can. Sorry, because then I have to go to bed soon. I'll send this because you might like this too, Lisa. You might like to listen to this if you're into, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here we go. I got it. Okay. So I just shared it with you. But that's the playlist, and that gives you like the first 6 chapters, and you can really understand what I went through in the legal system, you know, like in what led me to my retirement. and you guys don't know, I've seen the most cruel things in the world.
So is
I
this
wouldn't-
this is your book, or this is your?
This is my playlist. This is the beginning of my book, so you don't have to buy it. You can actually just listen to it audio. It doesn't get through the entire book. The book is it's called Lawyers versus the People by E.G. Alexander. I personally like the audio. I'll be honest, I like the audio better because I write it more like me. The book itself is more formal. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's I'm not really like I published it, but it's more formal. It's not as conversational. I think you'll like the playlist better because it's just you'll get it better, you know. But I had to do it because, you know, it was so complex that you guys don't know what I put my life on the line for these people, and I became a whistleblower in my profession, and it was you guys don't even know. I like I said, I had like it's hard to say. That's why I always say when they want to call me disbarred, ask me what I did. Ask me what I did. Let me tell you, there was this attorney I met. He was disbarred. He was one of the greatest attorneys I'd ever met. He actually did this whole case with Howard Stern, and he had this whole thing. And he was going against their political agenda. See, in the state of Florida, the Florida bar runs our state. You guys need to understand that. You guys don't understand that. The reason attorney fees are so high is because it's a monopoly. Florida is one of 6 states in the United States that refuse to take the ABA's recommendation of having an outside regulatory body regulate them. Florida is no joke. Like they want to control the state. They do you guys know the bar has rulemaking power as strong as statutory making power, meaning you think you can go get statutes changed. Well, guess what? The Florida bar lawyers are behind your back already changing rules, which are as binding as statutes. You guys don't know a lot of what goes on. So be very careful. You know what I mean? When you think that the bar and you know, like I said, I knew I was smart enough. I was smart enough to get the hell out because I saw what was going on. But you would be amazed that there's a lot of people out there. Now, I'm not saying everyone, but some of the disbarred attorneys, you'd be amazed, never should have been disbarred ever. They just challenged those in power. Think about that.
I can see that.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, like everybody wants to use this disbarment like they're the worst. Some of the best, most grounded, most character-driven people have been disbarred because they went up against those in power. And what does those in power do? I'm going to disbar you and ruin your credibility. Why am I going to ruin your credibility? Because if I ruin your credibility, no one will listen to you. And we'll keep our power and control over.
Which is exactly what Jeremy's trying to do.
Well, that's what those in power do.
They're trying to ruin everybody's credibility on this side of the realm, you know?
Yeah, that's what they want to do. And so you got to understand, like, it's very clear. There's us versus like there's the elite. There's those that are running this country.
Oh yeah.
And you know, the lawyers in the state of Florida, not every state is like this, but in the state of Florida, they are running this state, you guys. And so help me God, you never have to deal with a guardianship in your elder years. You know, as your probate court or anything like that, as your loved ones pass away, but you couldn't even imagine the stories that I've seen. You know, I've seen people's estate be taken by the attorneys and never left to the family. I've seen elderly people, like look at Wendy Williams and that story up in New York. Look at what happened with Britney Spears. They want their money because when someone's in a guardianship, the attorneys get to collect. Who do you think is collecting? The attorneys? Okay. I never looked at myself like one of them. I went to law school because I was failed by our system, and I swore I would gain the knowledge of a lawyer. But I never wanted the, you know, I wasn't out to take. I could be sitting here as a millionaire right now if I did what my fellow attorneys wanted me to do. But I wouldn't do it because like I said, God spared my life for one reason. And I would remain true to him, and I would not be tempted by greed and power. I don't care about greed.
Ray's brain went the same way mine did. Because, you know, last night you had said something, you said going up against the cabal or something. I'm like,
yeah.
When you talked about the elites like that, you know, when you go, you know, if you like, go down the rabbit hole, you'll find that word cabal. You'll find BlackRock listed under it. So when I saw Ray saying that, I'm like,
Turn
oh.
off your internet for a second.
But yeah, the love of money
It's
is the
what?
root of all evil.
It
That's
is,
absolutely
and
correct.
you've got to be, so what you guys see isn't always what reality is. The bad guys that you see aren't always the bad guys. Maybe they're made bad guys because they don't want you to listen to them. Maybe those in power don't want you to listen to them.
Mhm.
And this is the thing with life, that I have learned, because I took it upon myself. Whenever I saw disbarred attorneys, I always made phone calls. I did research. I wanted to know who these people were. Why were they disbarred? And I started to learn a lot of the disbarred attorneys were not the bad guys. And then I saw that's why when I filed my petition for retirement, I wrote, I cannot support the unethical conduct of my state bar. I'm supposed to stand behind an oath. When I saw these people commit perjury, I saw these people. I mean, you guys don't even know what I saw. It was bad. And I have the evidence. I had death threats in writing against my own children. I had a state prosecutor refuse to prosecute for those that had disseminated these death threats against my kids because he happened to be on the DA with, or as he worked as an attorney with one of the attorneys behind the death threats. Okay.
Mhm.
You guys, I have seen a world that none of you have seen, and I have lived it, and I was a whistleblower. And I walked away from my profession. It's very deep. It's a lot more than I can explain. You can't just explain it overnight. That's why I wrote a book on it, because nobody's going to really understand it. But I can tell you one thing, and I will always say this: I am a character-driven person, and I am honest, and I don't lie. And I was on probation for a year with my bar because I called a judge unethical because he did lie in an order. He came back, he apologized, he said he made a mistake, but I still had to do the probation because I called him unethical. But
Right.
my probation was based on calling a judge unethical because the judge lied. That was my probation. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like tell me one thing you will ever catch me doing where you won't, because I pride myself on honesty. I'm very transparent.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you're speaking like your life, your experience, right? And like I've done the same thing. Like even when they tried to accuse us, okay, so I have evictions on my record back. It's not even a record; it's just public records, right? So to me, a record, like your rap sheet, they were calling it a rap sheet. I'm like, no, I don't have a rap sheet. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I spoke about it. I have nothing to hide. There was no reason to speak before. I mean, I might have even just mentioned it out of nothing, And then Gabe came on here talking about his situation that he was in. So it's like when they're bringing up these things, there's nothing to hide. We're talking about our lives, and we're being transparent. There's nothing going on. We're just real being here. And,
I mean,
I find
Lisa,
the same thing in you.
Nobody's perfect. Everybody
Right.
has something they've done in their past. It's like, who is
Yeah.
perfect? And what I started to notice when I started looking up these people on Facebook that were throwing these darts out, I would look them up on my background check, and they had criminal convictions. They had issues with their credit. They had all these things, but yet they're sitting there. So, you'll notice a lot of the people that are so quick to throw darts about others and blast somebody else's imperfections are the ones that actually have the most imperfections.
Yeah. And it's like, first off, no matter what your experiences in life, hopefully you learn from them, And, for me, I feel like I did. Like, I'll never rent another house out and let a bunch of musicians live in it. You know what I mean?
Everybody makes mistakes. It's whether you can learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, nobody this world, this life is so we can make mistakes and we can learn from them. And that's
Well, that's
why
how you grow.
Yeah, that is. It's how you grow. And I mean, trust me, that's like not even like the least of the things that I've learned. I mean, I've learned so much. So I don't regret any part of my life.
No, that's why I say just own it. That's why I wanted to do a campaign with everybody. Just air your dirty laundry and say, I own it. You want to make that take the power away.
I always have. I've always spoke about every single thing I've done. And I've always been open about it. Yeah. Because that's how I learned. That's how I became the person I am today.
Exactly. And that to me is a real person. It's the people, and you got to figure too, some people are born into privileged upbringings, some people, nobody starts at the same even playing field,
Right.
but it's not for us to judge. It's just not. It's like if somebody keeps repeating, a bad choice, then that's on, you know what I mean? Then okay. But you know what? I mean, if you made a bad choice and you suffer a consequence, why do you have to relive the consequence over and over again? It's like, no, you dealt with the consequence, you've moved on. But these
Right.
people want to make you live in this consequence. It's like I think a normal person would go, why are they so obsessed with this? Like,
Right.
who cares? Who cares? It's because they
Exactly.
don't want us to see that it's a crock of shit what they're doing. They don't want us to actually investigate what's going on. They'd rather shoot darts in every other direction so we don't investigate what's in front of us. That's the reality.
Yeah, well, they're making money. They're profiting off of it. And if we turn around and prove that what they're saying is lies or exposing the truth, how are they going to make more money? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're going to have to
This is
find
all just
something.
a sham. It's a sham. It's a sham to make money.
Yeah. And we're not doing it to stop them from profiting. We're doing it to stop them from hurting people.
Well, that's the thing is they're profiting off of hurting people. And that's the problem I've had from the inception of this. It's one thing, like I said, if you want to be, flamboyant, you want to be controversial, go for it. But you're not to profit off of harming other human beings. That's as low as you can get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really sad. But I don't look. He started off with storage units. Go back to that. Find something else. Like you got people there. Go make your money. Get your views. Just don't do it on hurting people. You know. You want to cover cases. Go ahead and find a case that's out there. Don't create your own case and try to make people look like they're crazy or whatever. Like he's been mocking attorneys since his divorce.
Well, it's probably because he feels insecure because they actually have more knowledge than he does.
Yeah, and he's portraying all this crap, and it's just lies. It's just mocking people. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know it's getting late for some.
Yes, I have to go to bed because I have to get up in the morning, unfortunately.
So we're going to I don't know if Robbie you want to stay on for a few more minutes, but
sure, I'm good.
We're going to sign off for the night, the first of Monday Mischief, and I think it's going to be fun to have you on and do this on Mondays.
I'm excited. Thank you, Lisa. This got me out of my rut. I was a little angry earlier because I was angry. I'm sorry. I saw.
No, it's good. It's real. It's real. It happened.
You should get angry, Leslie.
Yeah.
That's what's going to fuel you.
Yeah. And we're fighting a fight here, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're able to speak the law and let everybody know and educate them on what's really going on and how this is going to work and what the courts are going to look at and see and care about. Not care. That's probably a poor word. But what they're going to be willing to listen to. And so I really think that our Monday night mischief, and not just this case, we can talk about other cases as well. So it should be a lot of fun on Mondays here. And let's not forget Tuesday mornings. Leslie has Legally Leslie live, and tomorrow morning at 10. Correct. So
yes, I'm gonna go on. I was just gonna kind of I've gotten emails from various Hale supporters. Emailed me, and I was going to answer those emails. And then I was going to also, I think Super D wanted to come on. I know Lisa at one point I would want to interview you too. So I know that I've got some interviews too. So
yeah, well, if you need me to come on in the morning, I will.
All right, girl.
You don't need me, but want me to?
Okay. I know you'll be tired. I know Super Dave said he wanted to, and I do want to interview you too. I'm just wondering because I only have an hour to do it. So I'm wondering, oh God, I'm trying to think. I'll let you know. Just set your, I don't want to get you up earlier than you got to get up.
No, you're good. Just let me know. Yeah, let me know, and I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll be there.
Okay.
So, alrighty,
Good night,
guys. I want to thank you
Leslie.
so much.
Good night, guys.
Good night, Leslie.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
So, guys, I will be back. Robbie, what are you doing?
Nothing. I'm right here. What?
So, what'd you think about our first Monday night mischief? Mischief Monday.
It's crazy. It's life's crazy, but
Yeah.
she's learning how evil this truly is, and
Yeah.
since I've
1,
been
2, 3.
saying
Pretty
that
quickly.
from the beginning.
Pretty quickly. I mean,
Yeah.
they went and attacked her fast. You
Yep.
know, it wasn't spread out like I mean, they jumped on her, and
Right.
and a lot of it happened literally with. I mean, think about it. What Jeremy's life was not even. Well, yeah, now it's 24 hours ago, but this all happened within since 7 o'clock this morning. And a lot of it tonight. So yeah, I mean,
that's the
I
thing,
feel
though.
bad.
You guys-
And you saw her live reaction to finding out about that group, and she has every right to feel that way. And I don't blame her at all. And you learned a lot more about Leslie tonight and why she became a lawyer.
Nine chins. Thank you,
Nine
sir.
Chins, thank you so much. I think I saw all the super chats. If I did not, let me go take a look. See. Sylvia C sent $2. Peculiar is a member for 6 months. Dysfunction Mind is a member for 4 months. Whoop whoop. Yeah, I think I got it. Thank you, guys, all for the super chat. You guys are amazing. They're being vicious, and she's a very strong person, and I think she's gonna come out fine. Just got to move forward with what's going on. She
Good night,
did.
buddy.
She moved real fast with her court motion. Absolutely, Tina. She did. I was shocked. I was. I texted Robbie. I was like, holy shit. And he calls me back. He's like, what happened? And I told him, he's like, no way. So yeah, it was quite surprising. And I was left with my jaw to the desk here. I was like,
Yeah, all these cases should have gag orders on them, because that's how it's going to get done.
yeah, I mean, the federal case too needs a slap order out for sure.
Yeah.
But but then what's Megan and Todd gonna do? Because Jeremy's not gonna be able to talk about it. He's not even gonna be able to talk to Megan or talk about it. He's not gonna be able to talk about it at all to anybody.
That's what should have been done.
Exactly. But that doesn't work in his favor. Yeah. It doesn't work in his favor.
I'm fine if
But
that
nobody's
happens,
brought it
because
up.
we can go back to doing trivia. We can do other stuff.
Yeah. We could still do that. As a matter of fact, we'll do that
Have
tomorrow
fun.
night too. We'll do that tomorrow night too.
It's
My
fun.
neighbor brought me some really juicy watermelon.
It's fun being a real person and not pretending you're somebody that you're not.
Yeah.
You know,
The only person I know doing that is people. Well, those keyboard warriors over there. We're the ones that are getting attacked. And it's like, oh, you infiltrated this. You put yourselves in our lives. No, we didn't.
No.
You put your shit on YouTube and you attacked everybody. And
he dragged me into it.
he absolutely dragged you into it. He went after Guapo. Showed all his viewers what a real asshole he is. Or at least the ones that watch Guapo's channel. So
Yep.
Jeremy's fake misses him being real though. That's true.
It really is. He is very, very fake.
I'm telling you, after seeing that lawsuit this morning that Leslie filed, I literally wanted to file one right after her. Because so her lawsuit's going to actually help the federal two case.
Yeah.
because it's showing that he's doing it to somebody else who literally walked in.
Karen Reed is innocent.
What?
Karen Reed is innocent. Suzanne said.
Hold up.
Is it really? The case is over?
No, wait. Hang on. Where's Kendra?
Yes, she is.
Hold on. We argued about.
Not over yet. Oh,
No,
okay.
I was gonna say Kendra did not say that. She texted me at 9:49 and goes, "Are you alive out there?" That's funny. But she was telling me something about the case. That's all. Like, wait a minute. I asked her about it. Yeah, the child's still going. Oh, you're just saying she's innocent. They scored big today. I think that's what Kendra was trying to tell me, but then I went live. Huh. Wow. Interesting facts. Really? No, I'm going to have to hear about it. Kendra's going to have to tell us. So tomorrow, this should be the trial should still be going on. So Kendra will have even more info. Huh. All right. So tomorrow will be a Karen Reed day. We'll have some fun tomorrow night. Do something. Did we reach a goal tonight? Okay. I didn't know if I should or what, so I just put it up anyway. That would do a giveaway. I think the president should ask for theirs to be sealed too. I agree.
Ray, Ray, not only BlackRock, State Street too, and what's the other one? Oh God, what are they called? Vanguard.
Yeah. I think when you go to Vanguard, you'll find out that BlackRock. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they're all three involved together. Yeah. And State Street.
The guys that are under BlackRock are two or three of the top people in the CCP.
Yep. And Soros is in there.
Yep. So that tells you who's running everything. For the most part, anyway. I shouldn't say everything.
Soros is a very evil person.
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's say I just read the chat. Seal it all cases, no content. We can find things to do waiting for decisions. I do think that it should be sealed, for sure. I'm not about the breadstick. I'm not about the views and stuff. I mean, yeah, it pays for the channel. It's good. The channel's running really good right now. But I can hopefully entertain without discussing Jeremiah was doing it before. You know what I mean? There's other cases. This has just been a constant because he puts a video out every day just hurting people. And a couple weeks ago, I said, I was literally, if you guys don't understand, you will, just investigating everything and put it all together. And it's at a point where
he throws digs at people.
Yeah, everyone. So it's like, there's always something to comment and freaking, tell the truth about or whatever it may be. And it does get repetitive because he repeats himself. And it's like something, we're repeating it. But it's, what he did to Bruce's wife. Yeah. I'm sure Bruce may have spoke about that. One thing I do want to discuss tomorrow, along with Karen Reed, if Kendra's here.
Is that George is crying?
George is crying. Apparently. She's crying for days now. She's going to continue to cry, apparently. If this is all about the case, then she's going to continue because now she's added to one, and it's going to be because of the mocking and the stuff that she's going along with German doing, supporting it. So anyone going, and who decides to go before Lisa slams the door on us? Joking. So now I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah. Look, they're all going to be held accountable for everything that they've been doing because it's wrong. It's wrong to go after people like that. You want to throw a joke out there, haha, whatever. That's fine. That's great. I've done it. But to literally go out and go after people's lives and ruin them and torture them, that's not right. It's not good. It's not right. And I believe that he's built this pyramid of people, this so-called YouTube mafia, and the echo chamber, and he's using everybody to do it. As a matter of fact, he's going to try and claim some type of. He can't, but he's doing it thinking he can claim like some type of plausible deniability, and doesn't work that way. The newest person on that trip is that J Hip character, and look what's happened. He's now in the lawsuit with Hales. And when they go into Hales' chat and they start, supporting what he's doing, that's where it comes into play. The conspiracy is there. It's not here. It's not here. So, and that's what he does. He throws things out there and accuses people of doing things that he's doing. He takes certain situations and tries to twist it because that's what he does. That's what he would do. So he's accusing people of doing these crazy things. And we're about as real as we can be here. And I say it like it is. I'm pretty blunt, I think. I don't know about you, Robbie, but I'm pretty blunt. So
I'm not. You're gonna say I'm not? Okay.
Like that's how I am. And then I kind of tell it as I see it,
I'm always like that. It gets me in trouble sometimes.
Yep, same here. Lisa, can't Martha use Shock It, or is it a conflict of interest?
You can use them.
No, she can use Shock It. Now, Shock It should be able to actually defend Jeremy in this new case, right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's the Middle District, but wouldn't he have to? He's a Florida attorney, so I guess he'd have to be licensed to work in the Middle District too. I don't know about that. I don't know.
He's probably just got to fill out some paperwork.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, he's obviously working in the Northern District right now, and he's in that area. So, I don't know if he'd have to, add himself. I would. Normally I would think if you're a New York attorney, you could practice anywhere in New York. If you're a Florida attorney, you could practice anywhere in Florida. That's what I would normally
You
assume.
pass the Florida bar. Florida bar. You probably, I don't know for sure, but you probably just have to fill out some paperwork. And
right. If it's not like your territory or something like that. I don't know. That I don't have an answer to. I never asked that question before. But I'm sure it's not a big deal. He'll probably have. I mean, he said that Shockett was already like pro vice in Ohio, and I'm thinking, really, for what? What case? What case is he? Don't you need to have a case in order to do that? Unless he's getting added to the Ohio protection order case. I mean, what? So that made no sense. George is shaking in her boots by now. Well, she should be, because here's the thing. Whatever comes back, like let's just say counterclaims or whatever, it's going to go against George, because I know people are going to add George to this case, the federal 2 case. Not only that, she's going to get depoted by many an attorney. There's 11 defendants. And whether they're all going to end up getting served, I don't know, because there is a time frame they need to be served by. And that time frame is coming to an end real quickly. However, I know I'm going to make sure she's depoted for sure. And I know this story pretty well, that I know what questions I want answered. Then there's also interrogatory questions we can ask. And I think everybody gets questions, like 30 questions each, something like that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But this man leaves a trail of destruction everywhere he goes. His ex, his family, that poor lady he rented from in Ohio, Florida. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's funny because it's like they act like we're making this shit up. He's shown it all. You know, he has shown all of it himself. So, anyhow, yeah, Travis better stop. Travis ain't gonna care. He's making money. He says he's made more money in his life doing this, so he's not gonna stop. Well, okay. We'll see how that works for you. When you're being sued, I'm gonna have to pay all this money because of what you're doing, making that money. Because Travis is a part of it. Jeremy's not gonna cover his ass. Robbie, have you talked to Tori today?
Yeah, earlier.
How's she doing?
If she can keep down food, she'd be doing a lot better. So she's just, she's got to get substance in her and protein and everything, but her stomach, she's not able to keep anything down.
Right. Yeah, I saw that her said she wasn't going to go live.
Yeah, I think she's got to, she's really got to get some probiotics in her because she was on that really strong antibiotic, and that kills all the good stuff in your gut as well as the bad stuff.
Right.
So, and your gut's got to be working good to digest.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she feels better soon. Her community post. What, on her YouTube channel, you mean? I'm not sure. I know she took her Facebook down. Hold on. Let's take a look there. Whoops. Okay, my thing just went batty. On YouTube, really? Okay.
Look at the picture there, Lisa, my picture. That's the daddy. That's the daddy bald eagle.
Is it?
Yeah.
Aw. The dad.
The babies are about 100 yards away from the nest now in another pine tree.
Yeah, she did remove her posts. That's okay. She's protecting herself right now. She doesn't want people to be able to, run with things and if they're going to twist it and whatnot. So she's making sure that what's on there is, because I'm telling you, these people make this crap up. Like the stuff that I saw in the chat with Tug, I mean, the stuff that they were saying was like such made up bullshit. Like the fact that, for instance, the septic tank is leaking, they can't get permits, so they're not going to be able to do anything with the barn until the permits are, able to be retrieved, and that can't be done until the septic tank's fixed. I'm like, what? Where the hell did this come from? There's nothing wrong with the septic tank, or it's not leaking. Where did this story come from? So it's shit like that, What, Robbie?
No, I was saying, all right, to Gabriel, don't tell her. I think she's on some of those.
Oh, yeah, spoilage of evidence. Yeah. Now, what she's doing is she's protecting herself. That's not it. They think that first of all, they think that like the donor bought us laptops and stuff, or we bought ourselves laptops with the donor's money and whatnot, which is absolutely not true. I received a laptop from an anonymous person, or one who wants to remain anonymous, I should say. I know exactly who sent it. So if necessary, I could prove it. My husband bought me a phone for Christmas. My husband has a job, people. To tell y'all how he works. I actually work. So, people don't know what they think they know. And, I'm allowed to buy myself a new phone.
Good night, prayers. God bless, bro.
Good night, John. I'm allowed to buy myself a new phone once a year or whatever, I'm also allowed to purchase a vehicle if my other vehicle breaks down. I could do that too. Have I done it? No. But I'm allowed to. I can do whatever I want with my money that I work for.
Ronnie, yeah, the small birds are always harassing the eagles and the eaglets.
It's crazy. Crazy. But anyway, guys, it is 1 o'clock. I'm going to jump off here because we're going to be back tomorrow night at 10 for our normal Tuesday night. It seems we have normal nights now because we have Sunday Spun Day. Now we have Mischief Mondays, Tidbit Tuesdays, and Thursdays was our sales night. So, and Saturday's just like a fun thing. So, it looks like I'm going to not be live on Fridays, obviously, because Robbie is, and Wednesdays. So, I'm going to have to change that little thing that keeps popping up. It's never a normal night here, right? I'm definitely gonna be back tomorrow night. Hopefully with Kendra, we'll go over maybe the Karen retrial. But I do want to mention something else that I want to talk about, which is someone you all may know. We're gonna go on and talk about Larry Foreman tomorrow, so be prepared. There's some interesting information coming out about him and what he's doing.
Who's Larry Foreman?
DUI guy who is involved with the raising of the funds. You know, the fundraising for the ants. Yeah, that one. There's some interesting stuff that's gone on and what he's doing and the type of person he really is. So we're going to get into that tomorrow. I guess since they want to attack lawyers, we might as well tell the truth about lawyers, right? I mean, why not, right? So we'll get into that tomorrow too. So I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It was fun. It was interesting. It was educating. It was a little sad too at the same time. I hope you had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you tomorrow night on Tidbit Tuesdays. Thank you all so much. Definitely check out our mods and check out what they're up to and how their lives are going and what's going on with them, because they're very cool people. Lots of fun too over there. I want to send out prayers to everybody who needs them and who does not need them or thinks they don't need them. Yeah, I hope you have a fabulous evening, a great day tomorrow, and I'll be back tomorrow night with some more peeps and Robbie.
Oh, okay.
Robbie, you're always here. You've been here since the day we started going live. I love you.
Oh, I love you. Good night, everybody. God bless and prayers.
Good night, guys. Have a great day tomorrow. Smile. Enjoy your lives, no matter the circumstance. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Someone's got to do it. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
There it is,
Bye.
blood. Toodaloo.